tonight's episode of the Gamecasters, we talk about all the games we've been playing recently. We do another board game beatdown for you, and then we end the show with our top 5 Eurogames for people who hate Eurogames. Stay tuned. How does a gamer, dork man, son of a boomer like the D-man, dropped in the middle of a forgotten spot in the suburbia by Providence Hospital, a squalor, grow up to be a podcaster father? Well, the word got around. They said, this kid is insane, man. Took up a collection just to get him some board games, man. Shirk your obligations. Don't forget that mad board gamer. And the world's gonna know your name. What's your name, man? The Gamecasters Podcast.
It's happening again.
Our name is the Gamecasters Podcast. We're gonna have a great show today. Just you wait. Just you wait. Well, hello there, gamers.
That was awesome.
And welcome to episode 46.
Natalie's crying again.
I was like, oh, God.
Not out of laughter or entertainment, but...
I was like, Hamilton,
Was that from Hamilton? That was just straight off the brain. My name is Ryan, and I'm here with Natalie and Jeff, the Mad Board Gamer. And if you've never listened to an episode of the Gamecasters before, I'd say the best way to describe our show is we're like those Japanese love pillows that most people think is super creepy and weird, but there are a few wackos out there who want to marry and spend their lives with them. We're the podcast equivalent of that. There's that episode of 30 Rock.
Yep.
Where, who's the guy? Is it
Will Forte?
It's James Franco.
James Franco. Yeah, James Franco.
And he's like marrying Jenna as his beard.
Yes.
Right? But really he's in love with
that dog.
Kamoki, the Japanese love pillow. Oh my gosh. Or I guess you could say we are the tail end of a high. We start off crazy and weird, but then as the night goes on, we get a bit more normal, and at the end, you throw up or pass out.
Oh, my God.
Either way, we're against the law.
Yeah.
Wait, did you practice that a lot?
No. Wait, what do you mean?
That was good, getting the beats right. That's a hard song.
Yeah, thanks. Well, I wrote it.
Maybe practice it.
Yeah, but
I didn't even know it was a Hamilton knockoff. I was just, we just happened to have the same brain, me and Lin-Manuel. Yeah, no, I sat down and wrote it yesterday, and you were around most of the time, Natalie, so I couldn't...
I was outside, though, right? On the deck?
Yeah, but I didn't know when you were going to be inside and not, and so I don't want you to, like, just be there while I'm like, well, the word got around, because you'd come down and be like, what are you doing? What's this? So I was doing it was all in my head. That was the first time it was actually happened out loud.
Wow. Impressive.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, so anyway, what's up with you, baby?
Me?
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, we've been watching Hamilton a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, we have,
How many
man.
times?
3.
I watched it a few times and then listened to the soundtrack a couple times.
Okay.
3 times?
so
Have you
It's on
seen
Disney
it?
Plus now.
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus.
It is.
I've heard a lot of the songs just from history teacher kind of thing.
We watched it like the
but I
first
haven't
time and
seen
we're
it.
like, wow, this is really good. And then the more you watch it, you're like, oh my God, this guy is talented.
It's like, yeah, you see it and you're like, this might be the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Of anything. That includes anything. My eyes have never witnessed anything this good.
Right. Now we're like doing a lot of like history research about like the presidents and the founding fathers because we're just interested.
And honestly, I was looking at that, I was like, Jeff would like this because he'd be like, I know.
That's
I know.
wrong.
I know.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
He wasn't there at that duel. I know.
You'd ask me a question, I'd be like,
What was he doing?
Yeah.
A lot of history, I don't know.
Well, you probably would know most of the stuff. I would.
I mean,
I would guess.
yeah,
Do you teach anything about the like Revolutionary War?
No. I
Oh,
don't.
okay.
It's just not my curriculum.
I
know
gotcha.
some of it, but
Okay.
I don't. It's not something I teach my students. They learn that in 8th grade, and then in 9th grade, it's like post-Civil War stuff.
I see. Okay. Yeah. Well, George Washington's in it.
Oh, okay.
He was actually our first
The
president.
George
Yeah. Yeah.
Thomas Jefferson.
Oh, he's in there?
was
Okay.
like
He's a guy. I went to his elementary school. Thomas Jefferson Elementary School.
Nice.
I was a jet.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah, we watched a lot of Hamilton.
The other thing going on with me is you got an Oculus Rift.
That's what's going on with her.
Yeah.
I got an Oculus Rift.
Yeah.
So I've
Yep.
By
been,
association.
Way to ride my coattails, Natalie. Yes.
well, it's the first time I've ever used like a VR system. or
Yeah, so an
whatever.
Oculus is the VR.
Yeah, right. Virtual reality.
Okay.
And
kind of thing.
the first thing there was like a job simulator game, and you could be like a convenient.
You just go on an interview.
You
My greatest strength is I'm very punctual.
It sounds ridiculous, but it's actually really fun. You're like a convenience store clerk, and customers come in, and you have to like give them like
like give them Slurpees and hot dogs.
Or like there's
you can work in a car. You can work as a car mechanic.
Mechanic, and then there's
or in a restaurant.
Okay,
like
so it comes
chef.
with. Does it come with the actual video, and then it comes with like this thing you put on your head to like see it?
So the Oculus,
right?
the Oculus it's got the VR thing that goes over your eyes, where you look like the
phone,
Terminator,
right?
No,
because there's some that use your
you have
phone
to plug it into your
phone
computer.
Okay.
Yeah, the ones that use your phone are a lot weaker. The Oculus is like it's like an actual gaming system, and you can't play this particular. It's called the Rift S. You can't play this unless you connect it to a computer that can handle it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like
So you can't just plug it into any I couldn't plug it into this laptop.
Right.
And work. It has to have like a dedicated gaming computer kind of to run
Yeah.
it. There is an Oculus. It's called the Oculus Quest. It's just standalone. You don't have to do anything with it. And there's no wires or anything. It's just free form.
Okay.
But it can't do. It's not powerful,
Okay.
right?
And then does it come with like?
And it's got two little controls. Have you never done
things?
VR before?
I've done VR. I just wanted to get a visual
I
of
accidentally
all of it
threw
that
one.
comes with it. Oh,
because I was trying
like
to
buddy
throw.
style?
Yes,
I
just
was
like
trying
that.
to throw something, and I let go, and he's like, now I'm gonna have to strap you in. And I, like, put it
yep,
in
I did.
my favorite.
I did. Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, I spent $400. Yeah, so we've been playing that, and there's this game on there called Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes.
Oh my gosh, we played it for hours last night.
It is so fun. All it is, and you can play it without the Oculus. You can do it without VR, but if using the VR is so much better. So one person's in the VR and they have a bomb that they're trying to defuse, but they don't have any information. All they have is they can see the bomb. The other person who you're talking to, who's on the computer, can't see the bomb, but they have a manual about the bomb and any triggers that might be on the bomb. So basically, I'm in the VR looking at the bomb, and Natalie's at the computer with the manual, and she's like, all right, what do you see? And I'm like, okay, there's one of these bomb mechanisms has like 6 wires on it. 3 of them are blue, 2 are red, and there's a couple, or there's one white. And she's like, okay, it's white. Okay, there's one white. Is the white one at the bottom? Yes. Okay. Yeah, how many batteries are on the bomb? Oh, there's 1 battery. Okay, cut the 4th wire. And you either explode or it works, and then you go to the next mechanism. And it
gets increasingly harder, and you have like less time to do it, and
it is a great way to
have, like,
test
3
your
strikes.
relationship.
Yeah. Did
you ever blow up on the first one?
No, we made it to the first few without blowing up. We definitely died a lot.
Sure.
Well, because even like the puzzles that you have to do, like the wire ones or the button ones are easy, but then they start getting harder. Like there's a Morse code one that's like super hard. There's like some Simon Says ones. But the hardest part for me, and the reason that every time we did blow up, was like there'd be a new puzzle that we never had before. And I'm sitting there reading the instructions. We're running out of time. And I'm like, I don't even understand what we're supposed to be doing here. And I'm like trying to figure it out on the fly.
I'm getting pissed. Like, come on, we got 3 minutes left.
And you're just like saying all these things. I'm like, none of this is making sense.
But so I don't think you really got to see, because we switched back and forth. Like, okay, you do the bomb and I'll do the manual.
Yeah.
What in the later levels?
I only did the early one.
In the later levels, so in the early levels, it's just you and the bomb, and you just have like 5 minutes to do it. In the later levels, the environment you're in starts effing with you.
Oh, is that
so like
the
there's an alarm
was?
clock, and you're like concentrating on the bomb, and the alarm just goes bing, 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 and you're like, and you gotta hit snooze button, and then the lights will go off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the lights like go off, and then you can't see anything except like little lights that are on the bomb, and you're like, oh god, what the hell's going on? And then it flashes back on, and then like the game will like glitch a little bit, pretend, it kind of reminded me of that awesome game we loved for the GameCube, Jeff, Eternal Darkness, where like the walls will bleed. Yeah, me too. The walls will like bleed as you're going through the house, and like the game will just like, because you're going insane in that game.
The game would like pretend to reset, so it would look like the reset screen.
But really, you're just going insane.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but so you as the gamer, the first time it happens, you're like, oh no.
Yeah, what happened?
And you're like, oh no, it's just a game. It's just boots.
Maybe nobody cares about this, but I found this very impressive. The first time he put the Oculus like on my head, I happened to be wearing glasses that day, and I was like, oh no, I don't feel like putting in contacts just to like play this for 5 minutes. But I went over my glasses. It didn't even like squish them. It like didn't even feel like it was messing with anything. So I was like, that's pretty awesome, because, a lot of people just wear glasses all the time, and it like didn't even affect that.
Is it 50%?
Anyway.
What percentage of the population wears glasses?
I have no idea.
It's 32.6%. I just looked it up.
Yeah, well, because you don't wear glasses.
No.
So 1/3 of this table wears glasses.
You're right. So that works. 36.2%. That's about
But
right.
if like Dave was here, half of the
That's
table.
true. If we bring in more
actually,
people
this
who wear
stat says
glasses-
50%. 33% of this basement wears glasses.
Yeah.
I was impressed. Like you put it on, and I was like, I can't even tell. Like I'm wearing glasses right
That's what
now.
you get for
It's not, like,
$400.
squishing them.
That shit's expensive. Anyway, it was really cool, man. It was really cool. What have you been up to, Jeff? What's been going on?
Well, we had, as you guys know, my son turned 1 last
Oh
week.
yeah, birthday party.
We had a little birthday party. We
A
did it-
shindig, I would call
Yes, we did it at a local park, so people can be outside, still social distance.
Yeah, that's a good
wear
idea.
masks if they want. I thought it was great, and then kids could go in the park if they wanted to. So
it. It was amazing. The
was fun.
pavilion we were in was right directly orthogonally adjacent to the park.
yeah,
which
so
we
that was
then-
really fun, and there wasn't like a massive amount of people, which was great. Meaning that we didn't get a bunch of stuff we don't need. Like
Sure.
we got just the
Yeah.
right amount of plastic and crap in our house.
Good.
Yeah,
Because
like
I've
toys
been
and
to a
stuff.
lot of these first birthday parties. Because first birthday parties are huge for a lot of people.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
Oh, yeah,
the one
that's
where
when you
most
have
like everybody's
everybody.
invited.
yeah, and
Right,
you just
but that's
get,
the one where the kids need the least of toys because they're like
Yeah.
so little they don't
Yeah.
know.
So usually, when we went to Bill and Christy with Liam's first birthday, they came home with dozens of like toys and presents stuff, and we got just enough for him to have like a new cool set of toys for a year or two, and just we got some Amazon gift cards because we asked for that. We got some new books for him, so it was like the perfect amount of stuff
Yeah.
to not completely clutter the entire house
Yeah.
or take over the
Oh,
entire basement.
It happens so quickly.
Yeah, so that was cool. We're watching some new shows.
Oh, what are you
So
watching?
We watched this show. So you remember Unsolved Mysteries from like the 90s?
I loved
Yeah.
Unsolved Mysteries.
Okay, did you know they like rebooted it on Netflix?
Oh yeah, I've been seeing.
When you say
like,
rebooted it, it's a new version, or they just
Yeah.
released the old episodes.
I've
No,
been
so
seeing
it's, like, new.
advertisements on Netflix
Yeah,
when I
so
go
it's a
on.
new-
I was wondering if it was good.
Yeah, it's brand new episode.
But that
6
host
or-
was who he
I
made
know.
the thing.
So
who's
that's
hosting
gone
it now?
out of it.
Yeah.
there is no like dedicated guy in a suit who's like,
Yeah.
And Betsy walked outside at midnight. There's not like that.
Right.
But
That's what gave you the chills. Like, ooh.
It is. So what it is basically just 6 separate episodes of like a mystery crime kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is, I love those types of
Yeah.
shows.
It's really
So
popular right now.
Yeah.
Crime is really popular.
Shut up.
But that, so
Ben thought so too.
he laughed as well. I think he was on our
so we watched all 6 of them, and they're good. So they're just
Sweet.
standalone episodes.
Oh, I loved Unsolved
If
Mysteries.
I watched it, I wouldn't say like, oh, this reminds me of Unsolved Mysteries.
Okay.
But
It's a similar.
the show
type
itself is good. Yeah, and of course Netflix like takes it and puts like Netflix original. I'm like, it's
Come
not.
on.
They do that. They've done that with
Yeah.
Arrested Development. All the
Yeah,
shows
like,
they've
come
rebooted.
on.
And then we're
Original.
watching.
It existed before you existed.
Yeah.
Netflix.
This is slightly older, but we were watching season 3 of Fargo. So we watched season 1 and 2.
Hell yeah. Isn't that show
and-
amazing, dude?
Yeah, it's so good.
That's like the best show nobody watches.
yeah.
You never hear anything about
Yeah.
that show.
I remember I watched it like the first season on TV when it came out, and I'm like, how does nobody
Right,
heard
is,
of
yeah.
this?
This is
amazing.
incredible.
It's great.
What do you
So
think so
if you're-
far of season 3?
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
The
Season 3 is my
Duel
least
Ewan
favorite, but
McGregor's
they're
is pretty
still
sweet.
good.
Duel McGregor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Duel
Duel
McGregor.
McGregor's.
I love
And-
you,
yeah, so it's-
McGregor.
so we're
Dual wielding
halfway
McGregor.
through that.
Yeah, but you don't love him in that show. He's like bald.
No, not in this show. I just love him in general.
Well, one of the two is bald.
One of the- yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so that's
So how
great.
far are you?
We're like 4 episodes in, I think.
Okay.
3 or 4 in.
All right.
We're enjoying it so far. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't really
spoil
remember.
anything.
I won't. I know some things he doesn't know. Yeah, I was like, what episode are you on?
Yeah.
It's like I remember, and that was so long ago. I
remember
watched
that
that
one.
show,
That's
but it stuck with me because there's so many stars in all those seasons.
I
It's
know.
coming back.
I know. I
We're
heard
doing a season 4
Yeah.
this year, so
Yeah.
that's why we wanted to
Cool.
watch it. And
So did you buy the 3rd season?
no, it's now on Hulu.
Oh, and now
So it
you
just
can get it.
showed up
'Cause I
on
remember
Hulu.
you couldn't ever
So
do
we
it.
watched 1 and 2, and I'm like, I'm not paying $20 for it. I'll just wait.
Yeah.
Eventually it'll
Yeah.
come out. And
Worth it though.
Right.
If you did,
Yeah.
it
Just
would
so
have
you
been
know,
worth it.
everybody, each season of Fargo is like a brand new story. Like it's not a continuous
Yeah.
thing.
and they're not directly tied
And
to
they're
the
all
movie
different
either.
people
Like
in them.
there are
No, it's
some
in the
little
same.
Easter
It's in the
eggs, sort of.
same world
Yes.
though.
Right. It's in the same
Oh,
world,
heck,
but they're
they're
like
Because
Functional.
the money. I mean, like what happened in the movie
It shows
did
up.
happen.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just not. They're not continuing that story in any way.
Yeah, if you didn't
Right.
see the movie, you're not going to be lost.
no.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna
And
be Fargo.
another thing,
The first one is my favorite still.
Oh, the first season's
I
two
love
are
the
great.
first two.
I
the
like
whole
the first,
thing is
I like
good.
the second one a lot too, but the first one is just so good.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name from Lord of the
heck.
Martin Freeman.
Oh yeah, he's like so good.
Oh, yeah, don't you know? I walked downstairs and Oh, I just shot. Oh, I shot.
Oh,
her right
heck,
there.
shot her.
Oh no, I hit her with a hammer.
that was.
Oh heck.
Oh heck. Oh no.
Oh my gosh! Awesome. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool.
Oh, I got one more thing.
All right.
I
Let's hear it.
have a shout out too.
A shout out.
I rarely get excited to get mail, but I was excited.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
wanted to know
Quickly
what
tell
that
us about
was.
this.
So other than I want to say I get excited when I get packages.
Me too.
Yes.
So that's always exciting because sometimes
I get
forget
mad
that
when they're
I
not for
bought-
me.
Yeah.
I look at them like,
Just like
Natalie,
kids.
God damn it, Natalie, what the
Especially
hell?
when I know that it's shaped like a board game box. It's like, ooh, that is the
Yep.
square.
Yep.
Usually as a board game.
What
and
did
then
I order? I don't
Devin's
remember.
Like, I ordered creamer. I'm like, oh.
Yep. No.
But so this is exciting because I got an envelope.
Okay.
And I got an envelope from this company called Mobile Escape.
What
and-
size envelope?
Ooh, like a normal letter.
Okay, like a letter envelope. Got
not
it.
like a
Not
Yeah,
like a
like a
big
big
one.
or
Sure.
should I call it an envelope?
An envelope. An envelope or an envelope. That happened in one of our Gaming with Kid episodes.
Oh, envelope.
Yeah, we talked envelope
Oh,
and
that's right.
envelope.
Jack was
Yeah, Jack
cracking
was
up.
loving that. That was good stuff.
So what it
Jackson.
is yeah, it's just a letter, and it's an escape room in that envelope
What?
or envelope. So it comes
Wait,
with.
is the envelope like padded? Like, is there like tons of stuff in it, or does it look like you're getting a letter?
It looks like you're getting a letter. You wouldn't know. It's not like it's.
Yeah, it's not like bulked out.
No, it's not. So in the envelope is usually some letter, a bunch of like different paper things. And mine that I got had like a string. I'm not gonna like spoil anything, but
Yeah.
there was like
Yeah.
a string, a little like index card kind of thing with some weird symbols on it. There was like an introduction letter, sort of like a lot of the escape rooms
Yep,
kind of have
yep.
to read. And what was cool is it felt like it was kind of like a cool date night for Devin and I. Like we got this envelope and we're like, oh cool, let's do
Yeah.
this tonight.
Yeah.
You know, so we open it
Yeah.
up and it uses like the internet a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
There was one point, again, it's not spoiling. There was one point we had to send an email. So it's like
really?
sent
What?
an email.
So you have
and
to
it,
wait?
auto
Oh, it's an auto
responded. Yeah, so
response.
like
Okay.
auto responded with some
That's
stuff.
cool.
So that was kind of
That is
cool.
cool.
And there was some like piecing stuff together. It was a really cool thing. So they sent me one, and what you can do is you can buy them on. You can just buy one at a time if you want. You can go on and pick which one you want. They give like a little.
Is it like a
What's the website?
It's Mobile Escape. It's a Canadian website. So if you go mobileescape.ca, I think.
Oh,
okay.
.ca.
But you can just Google Mobile
Natalie,
Escape.
that's for Canada.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
So yeah, so you can just if you Google Mobile Escape, or they're also Mobile Escape on Instagram, you can find them. And if you can order one of the envelopes, or you can order a subscription, which is kind of cool. So you pay. I want it. I don't know the price off the top of my head. Maybe it's like $100 or 120
$850. Oh,
for the whole year. So
How
you
much
get
is
12.
one?
Oh.
I think it's like 10, 15 bucks.
Okay.
15 bucks at the most.
Okay.
For one. Again, conversion rate, I don't really know.
Yeah.
So let's say they're like $12, $13.
Yeah, so
an
kind of the
envelope.
same as like a unlock.
Yeah.
Or,
And then this just shows up to your house. So once a month, you would get these things mailed to your house. If you
cool.
bought the subscription.
What was,
is
like,
there a
the-
time limit?
No.
It just kind of says just figure it out.
Yeah.
What was
You can
the
do it.
difficulty level you think?
The one we did was easy. I know that they scale
Introductory,
up.
probably.
Yeah,
right?
they scale up.
Yeah.
So Devin and I probably finished this one in like 45 minutes or an hour. And
But was it like challenging?
yeah, there were some challenges. This one had a lot of like code breaking. Like
Yeah.
this means this, so you have to do that.
Okay, yeah.
But I assume they scale up and they become
Yeah.
harder. It does say like
That's cool.
difficulty.
Well,
on the-
plus I would also say that, you and Devin, we talked about this before with escape rooms, and, we've played so many exits,
Yeah.
so many unlocks. We've done so many escape rooms.
Yeah.
Your brain is used to thinking in these different
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah.
And so when this comes to you, I'm sure it's easier probably for you than it is for the normal non.
Yeah, the
You know what I
nons.
mean? The nons who don't know what this stuff
Yeah.
is, right? But if it's still fun for a hardened vet like yourself,
yeah, it was cool.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah, and it was just fun to just.
I feel like Ryan won't do it because of the exit and unlock.
No, you guys
bad
would- I'll do it.
experiences.
I'll do it. It sounds fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, it sounds fun.
Yeah, you do it. You did have to like
Going
destroy
online
it.
and
So
stuff
there is
sounds
some
fun.
cutting. There's some drawing on things. So
I have to cut myself?
You have to, like, yeah.
Oh my
Oh
god.
man,
have
today. No, it's wrong.
So it is a one-time thing. So then
Yeah,
we
right.
tossed
Yeah.
it. But that was pretty
That's
cool. I
awesome.
rarely get excited. to get mail that time.
MobileEscapeRooms.ca.
Yeah, something like that. We can find it. We can fill in the. It's
Oh, Canada.
and then you put the website in where that blank was.
Yeah.
Just like
It'll
fill
just
it in.
show up in Google.
Yeah,
Yeah, mobile. Just type in mobile escape and
and you'll find it. That's awesome, man. What a cool surprise that is.
I have
Okay,
one thing
yeah,
to
let's hear
say.
your shout out. You said.
I just wanted to shout out Jim Gamer. I'm drinking your tea right now that you sent us, and it's
Oh,
delicious.
Nice.
Man,
What? It was morning tea.
It's English breakfast tea.
Breakfast tea.
Morning
Oh.
tea.
Well, same. What's
From
this,
the
What a
UK.
non-tea
You're
drinker
English-
thing to say.
I'm a non. I'm a non when it comes to tea.
Yeah, he sent us a bunch of like goodies, and of course, Ryan doesn't drink tea, so I was like, I'll take that. And I've
What do
been
you mean? Of
drinking it
course,
like every day.
I could drink tea if I wanted to.
Cool. Of course you.
Of course you don't.
You don't even look like a tea
You're
drinker.
teaist. So we have been playing some games, Jeff.
Good.
Have you?
Good. Yeah.
We got a few to talk about. Some months ago, our very own Mad Board Gamer texted me and was like, "Dude, did you hear about this? Do you remember this?"
Yep. And I sent a picture. It was like,
Yep. And this was this picture of the Fantasy Flight page that talked about Cosmic Encounter for 2 players. Yeah, I looked at it for about 3 seconds and pre-ordered both it and the playmat.
Yep.
Having overdone it on the research, for those of you who know me, you know I love Cosmic Encounter. You also know I primarily play games with just Natalie, so a 2-player version of Cosmic Encounter. I was wet in the nethers
Oh
at
my
the thought of the pleasures that awaited me. But alas, I was tethered to the measure of time before the treasure would be mine. So the oppressor, the aggressor taunted me. My blood pressure was beyond measure. But then I said, whatever, I would be depressed forever and ever over this endeavor. So when I finally had enough of this waiting around, I heard a scuff at the door. Could it finally be my stuff? It was. I know what most of you must be thinking. How can you do Cosmic Encounter with just 2 players when so much of the game is about negotiation and dialogue with your fellow players? Well, here's how. In Cosmic Encounter Duel, players are vying for control of the universe by occupying 5 planets, just like in regular Cosmic Encounter. There are 3 encounter decks this time, and each card tells you what deck to pull from next. Each card basically dictates what you do each turn. Obviously, you're always going to be dueling with the only other player that you're playing with, but basically each card will tell you things like reveal a new planet and have a duel there. At the bottom of the card, it will tell you which deck to pull from next after that duel is over. So it's basically like it kind of keeps chugging the game along, this deck of cards. The 3 decks are basically the deck that tells you to have duels. There is another deck that is a recovery deck that when you draw from it, you recover ships, or you can, reset your tactic tokens, which I'll talk about in a sec. And the third deck is kind of like a mishmash between the 2. So basically, having a duel works the same as it does in Cosmic Encounter. You have a handful of cards that have a number on them. And the crux of the game is you're playing those cards to try to get the higher number, right? Whoever has the higher number gets to have control of the planet. 5 planets, and you win. It's got similar stuff to regular Cosmic Encounter, like the alien power, but he has an alien power just like regular Cosmic Encounter that breaks the rules of the game in some way that benefits you, and there's reinforcement cards that you can play in each duel. So what's the diff? Well, there are a couple new ingredients in this game. Gone is the negotiation between players, which is an enormous part of regular Cosmic Encounter, the negotiation aspect. So you're not asking people to obviously attack with you or defend with you. In place of this, you have a bluffing mechanism centered around these tactic tokens. Each time you have a duel, you send 1 to 4 ships to the planet you're vying for, which is, I think, just like Cosmic Encounter. You then play a face-down card, as well as this new tactic token. Each token, or each player first reveals this tactic token, and the tokens are really weird looking.
The shape?
Yeah. Like, the design is really interesting. I'll show you these after we're done, Jeff.
Okay.
They have a top and a bottom section, and you have to turn them towards your player. Whichever side is on bottom is the side you're choosing. So each one has a number from 1 to 4, and they each have, it's either attack or defense. So if I reveal, if I send 4 ships to the battle, Natalie sends 3 ships to the battle. We each reveal our tactics token. If I reveal a 1 defense and Natalie reveals a 2 attack, she attacks one of my ships.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You just negate it out. Now we both have 3 ships on the planet. The ships on the planet is important, unlike Cosmic Encounter, because in Cosmic Encounter Duel, there are these ship advantages. So if I have more ships on the planet than you do before the duel starts, I get this ship advantage, which is always just a modifier to the number of the card I'm playing. So let's say if we both have the same, and we would neither of us would get the ship advantage, and we just go to the duel, flip our card over, who has the most wins, and they get the control. But let's say I had 3 ships, Natalie has 2 ships, I would get the ship advantage, so let's say that gives me +9. So now when I turn my card over, my card says 10, it's really 19. So now it's 19 versus to whatever Natalie's is. So Natalie flips her card over and it's 7. So I'm winning. So she now has to, if she can, play reinforcement cards to get her either above my 17 or 19, whatever I said, or to get me below, because you can play reinforcement cards on your opponent
You can play
to get me
-1.
below that. And so we go back and forth playing reinforcement cards until we either can't play anymore or we've played, or we both pass. And then whoever wins the duel gets control of that planet. Whoever loses it takes their ships and brings them back. And it's basically that. And then you look at the card, and the card will have like a reward system on it. If you win the duel, you get this. Or if you're the loser of the duel, this happens. Okay? So the cards in the game, they go from anywhere from -2 to 42, I think it was, or 43 maybe. After you reveal your cards, like I say, you take that ship advantage into account. So if I have... I'll talk about the issues I have in a second.
I don't know if you said this already, but to win, you have to control 5 planets.
I did.
Oh.
Yes, 2 times. That's okay. So you have control of 5 planets, and you win for the 4th time now. So the main difference between this and basic Cosmic Encounter, your ships don't count as attack value in duels like they did in Cosmic Encounter. So if you remember, like, if I'm going to attack Natalie with 4 ships, and I'm like, Jeff, come with me. How many ships are you going to send? Jeff sends 3 more ships. We start with 7. And that's added to the cards we play. In this game, that doesn't happen. The ships don't count for any value in the duel other than that ship advantage. Okay. So once the ship advantage is determined, the ships mean nothing, and they don't add to your cards. Okay. That's basically the game. You keep drawing cards and playing back and forth until someone wins. It's pretty quick. So things I liked. It definitely has that Cosmic Encounter feel. The artwork, the zaniness of the powers, the reinforcement cards, it's all there, and it feels cool. The playmat that I got is a must, I think. It adds so much allure and table presence to the game that I wouldn't want to play without it. It would seem like... I think it would just seem too minimalistic.
More dull.
I mean, if I didn't have the playmat to begin with, maybe I wouldn't feel that way, but I don't feel like we could ever play without it. It's
cool.
really awesome.
I like the colors.
Now in the game, you have to worry about ship advantage, which I think is really cool because it makes those tactics mean something. So... you have to bluff on these tactics because I know Natalie has the same ones I do. Which one is she going to play? Does she want the ship advantage here? Because maybe she wants to lose the duel because on the card it has the loser gets this reward.
Yeah, sometimes the loser gets a reward.
So maybe she wants to lose the duel. So do I play my kick-ass, really powerful one only for her to play her one defense, which I wasted this now? Because when you play the tactics, they're gone until you reset them with another action later, kind of like in Kemet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And... so there's like a cool tug and pull there, which I really enjoyed. Things I didn't like. So while those tactic tokens were cool and super stressful, they also felt a bit maybe too luck dependent and random. The luck and randomness was just a bit too high. I always feel like there's a lot of luck, of course, in Cosmic Encounter, but you can mitigate that by negotiating. And the cards that you're playing, there's a ton of them, right? And there's multiple copies of the same number. In Cosmic Encounter Duel, there's only 1 copy of every number.
Okay.
So there's a big deck. You only draw 6 cards. And just like in Cosmic Encounter, you cannot ever refresh your hand unless your cards are gone. So if I happen to pull 43, 33, 20, 17, and 18, and 19, and Natalie pulls -2, 0, 1, 4, and 7, I'm going to win.
Yeah.
I'm just going to win.
That's basically what happened.
And in our first play, that was basically what happened. I just kind of
I pulled really all the lowest
I had
cards,
pretty decent
and then
cards.
you got to pick up extra cards from the deck, so you had a ton in your hand.
So what she just said, there are ways to mitigate your alien power. Like my alien power, was it my alien power that did that? Or maybe I lost, I purposely lost an encounter and I got to draw a bunch of cards.
Made the ship advantage double, and
right.
made
And
mine
for you
halved.
it was halved.
So that was another thing.
Right. But yours, you got to pick up reinforcement cards and stuff like that. So that was kind of cool. But so it's not 100% you're screwed, but I do think it's a little bit too luck dependent because in regular Cosmic Encounter, you're all drawing from this big stack. There's multiple copies of 10. In this one, we each have our own little deck. And so if I draw 3, it's okay. And then I draw 10. There's no other 10s to draw because I drew my 10. You know what I mean? So you can get kind of screwed that way. Overall, I think the game is really good. It's not Cosmic Encounter good, but it's good. How often we'll reach for it, I don't know. Natalie's about to tell you why in just a second. I liked it, didn't love it, but I'd like to play it more to see exactly how luck. How much luck determines the winner? Because that's my biggest complaint. Let's hear what you thought.
As Natalie
in this episode's board game beatdown.
Natalie angrily opens her notebook.
Let's see what I wrote.
Yeah, I don't know how you can angrily open a notebook, but she found a way.
She did it.
I wrote Cosmic Encounter Duel. WTF? Why are games like this so difficult for me? How can I hold my own in a game like On Mars, but this game turns me into a bumbling idiot?
We talked about that while we were
Basically,
playing.
what happens? Like, I don't understand like strategy games, Eurogames. I'm like on it, but like games like this, it's like I'm reading the card, and I'm just like my mind is just blank. I'm like, huh? And Ryan's like, it's so easy. What's your problem?
Well, I'm like,
what?
the card tells you what to do. Flip over a planet, have a duel. You pick a card with a number on it. You flip it over. Is your number higher than mine? Yep. Okay, you win. next encounter.
But,
I'm like, it's
I don't
easy
know.
as it gets, but yeah,
The
it's
whole
hard
entire time
for her.
I was just like not understanding. I was just getting confused, and he was like getting frustrated because he's like, this is so easy. What's going on? And I'm like, I don't know. These games just do this to me.
Did you see any of the pictures we post on Instagram? Natalie's just like,
It's very confused.
Yes.
yeah.
And I felt bad for Ryan because I was like, I'm sorry. I'm not like, it wasn't
Yeah, like every turn she
super
was like,
late.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
I guess
I'm like
play
reading
this
a card and he's like, well, what does it say? Do something with it. I'm like,
Do something.
I was like, what does this mean? And he's like, reads it and he's like, it just says this. And I'm like, I don't know.
So as we were playing, I was like, this
Was
this
it just
is
like the
shit.
language? You just were like, I don't know what a duel versus a
I mean,
this
that was
versus
part
that
of it.
is, or...
I think in general, these games, because like this is not the first time this has happened. This might have been the worst time, but like this is not the first time. Like even like, I don't know, can you think of one? Either, not necessarily like Cthulhu Death May Die.
Yeah, but games like that.
But games like that-
basically anything that's not like a strategic, mathy, thinky, plan out my turn
Yeah.
game. If we're just like rolling dice for combat and moving around a map for some reason,
I
she's like,
struggle-
I don't understand
Which is
what
the
that
opposite
means.
of a lot of people.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
And I
Funny.
struggle
Yeah.
with like strategy. Like I have all these like cards in my hand with numbers, and I'm like, how do I know how many ships to put out? How do I know which one to play? And to him, I think in his brain, he's like, okay, I think she might do this, so I'm going to do this. And I'm just like, this one?
It's weird because, but in a game where you have workers and you're placing things, like, all right, I'm going to place this worker here and get this thing here gets me
Yeah.
this, and now I can do this action
I
or
think,
whatever.
But
Right.
what you're just saying,
But- You
can't
I
make
think
a
that's the
plan.
difference. That's the difference.
Yeah.
I think
There's a big
she has a
unknown factor.
big problem doing something where she really doesn't know what the outcome's going to be.
Yeah.
Whereas, like you said, she can go like, okay, if I go there, I'm going to get that resource. 2 turns later, I can turn that resource into that, and I will get points as long as someone doesn't go there first. But in like Cosmic Encounter, she's like, well, I could play 14, but what if he plays 17? Then what do I do?
Then
I'm
you
screwed.
just get like,
Right.
And she locks up, I think. I don't know. I've been trying to diagnose you for a while now. WebMD said nothing.
Oh my god. Well, okay, so we've played it. I feel like at the end of it, I'm just gonna like call it a learning game. I think by the end, I was like, I think I get it a little bit more. At least the second time we play, it's not gonna be as bad.
We'll see.
So like maybe I'll be able to like
was
not
like, you gotta-
focus on like how to play, because even I got confused because you gotta like flip up those cards and then you gotta do a card and then do the tactic
Gotta
thing.
do a card, dude.
And I kept getting confused about the
Write that
order
down.
of things.
Gotta do a
'Cause
card.
it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
This kind of thing. But I don't know. It reminds me of like video games, because Ryan just
Oh my
is
God.
getting into video games.
We tried playing. Have you ever played Portal?
I am
The
so
game
bad
Portal?
at video
I don't
games.
think
That's
so,
why I
no.
don't like them. Like this bomb game, that was like right on my alley, because it's like
Because she didn't have to do anything but read.
right. But when it's just like
she can read.
the hardest
She
part
knows
for
all
me.
letters.
Well, we tried to play.
know the letters.
We tried to play
That's my
Portal
strategy.
2. Here's my thing I realized that I told Ryan. In video games, if I can't see my entire body, like I'm like Sonic.
She's like Sonic. Why can't I just see myself like Sonic?
because I'm like, it's like you're like the actual person, and
It's like first person.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't move around.
Dude, this was the funniest thing
I was
ever.
I was like, how am I? He's like, we're supposed to figure out these. It's like Portal 2. He's like, we're supposed to figure out these like puzzles and how to like get out of this room
Which
or something.
I was like, she's gonna love this. She loves puzzles.
How am I supposed to think about a puzzle when I can't even figure out how to just walk somewhere?
Okay, Boomer. Okay, Boomer, relax. All right, so
Joystick.
she's like, yeah. So she's like, we're like doing this puzzle thing, and she has to step on. All she has to do, literally, is walk. You can just walk over it. Is walk on top of this giant red circle, which is a button that like activates something on my side of the room, and so like. So something happened, and she's like, she's having a hell. She's like, "Am I on it now?" I'm like, "Do you see the platform raise?" She's like, "No." I'm like, "Then you're not on it." I'm like, "Move over slightly." I'm like, "It's right there. Aim down." I'm like, she's like, she can only either move her body or move the camera. She can't do them both at the same time. So she gets on. So she finally gets on the button after like 10 minutes of us bickering, and then it turns out we need to do something else. So she has to go to a different side of the room, and I'm like, "Oh no, actually do this." And she's like, "But that means I have to go back onto the red button again." Oh, here we go. I'm like, oh my God, she can't even get on. She can't even walk onto the button. Well, how are we going to do this? So I just paid for this game. I'm like, this isn't going to happen. It's so funny. She turns into this like 70-year-old woman who's never held a controller before. But I also thought about it, and I was like, I've been playing video games my entire life. So holding a controller and doing what she can't do is like breathing to me.
Yeah.
But to Natalie, it's like the most difficult task. You would think I just plopped her into an airplane and said, "Fly this thing, and save everyone's life. Stand on this button." Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, it reminds me of that. Like, it just doesn't click. I gotta practice or do it more or something.
So what have you been playing, my friend?
I played a brand new game that's
another brand new game.
Yeah, it just got delivered to Kickstarter backers.
Another delivery.
And
we got Cult of the New stuff here.
This game is called High Rise.
Oh yeah, with the buildings that.
Yes. So High Rise was. I remember. I was actually talking to Deepwater Joe about it, and he said he looked at it at Gen Con a year ago.
Oh, they had like a prototype or something?
Yeah, they had a prototype, and you're building buildings, and the prototypes, I guess, had these blocks, and you were stacking blocks.
Oh, that sounds
But
cool.
I guess that became like fiddly, a table bump knocks things over, whatever. It just seemed like too much. So
now they use standees.
The buildings became standees, which are amazing, and I'll
What are standees?
talk about.
Standees is just a cardboard standee that you put into a plastic stand.
Oh.
So it's kind of like a miniature, but it's just made of cardboard and it's
So just
two-dimensional.
like a flat mini. Okay, so the game is again called High Rise. It's by Formal Ferret Games.
Formal Ferret.
Yeah,
So the ferret's in like a tuxedo?
Yes, that's exactly what the logo is.
Okay,
It's like
cool.
a well-dressed ferret.
Yeah.
And it's designed by a guy named Gil Hova.
H to the Izzo, V to the Izzy. Yo, shizzle my nizzle, I'm going to design high rizzle.
Wow.
That kind of worked,
Did
right?
you like that
Word.
one better? Or the,
Yeah, it was better. That
the
or
Hamilton
was
one
better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Gil Hova, if you don't know him or the publisher, they made a game called The Networks.
Yeah.
Recently, which
Natalie
people really like.
You wanted to try that.
I can't remember.
I think you're creating like a TV.
It's a TV station.
Yeah, station.
Yeah, you're like running a TV station.
you're trying to run
are there
different
different like
shows.
roles?
Yeah, I think there's like buttered ones,
Oh my
and
God.
there's
The Hawaiian ones.
yeah,
I like
those
a
are
lot.
the
Yeah,
best
Hawaiian
with
rolls are
with pulled
good.
pork.
Pulled pork. Anyway, so that's Gil Hova, and the artwork is done by one of your favorites,
Ryan James.
Kwanchai Moria.
Ooh, Quancha. Yeah,
Ryan James.
That's right. I
There's an
forgot he's an
artist
artist.
named Ryan
Ryan
Yeah, there
James,
is a
favorite
Ryan
artist,
James.
Ryan
artist.
James.
Yeah, Kwanchai Moria.
Oh
who's
man,
done
yeah,
Cryptid, Hall of the Mountain King, Dinosaur Island, Catacombs, Flip Ships,
Oh
Bosk.
yeah, he's good.
nice.
I wrote them all
Nicely
down.
done.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say, is that the Catacombs guy?
Yeah,
sure is.
So he's done
Yep.
some great stuff.
Yeah,
and the
great
art in this
stuff.
is awesome.
Phenomenal.
Even the box cover, I'm like, it's got this kind of cool look of like slightly futuristic, but
Yeah.
also very like current. It's very
Oh,
cool.
sweet
cool.
man, you're getting me juiced up.
So in High Rise,
juiced.
guys, the sky is the limit. Okay? As players are competing to construct the tallest building in 5 major neighborhoods
Scrape
in the city.
that sky.
It takes place over 2 or 3 rounds, depending on if you play the standard game or
Really,
the full
2
game.
or 3 rounds? That's
Yeah.
short.
It seems short. The time on it does say like if you play a standard game, you can play it in 2 hours. So it's like 1 to 2 hours.
Wow.
The full game says 3. I would doubt that it would get that high.
So each
to me.
round must have
So-
like 35 turns.
Yeah. So I think that Devin and I played it. The two of us played a full game. So we played all 3 rounds. And
Okay.
we played it. I explained it and played it in 2 hours on the dot.
Oh, cool.
Which is like
That's not bad.
perfect.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
obviously with 3 or 4, you might creep up to that like 2.5. It does make a suggestion, and Gil has this video that he put out that teaches you the game, and he said even if you're experienced gamers, when your first game, just play 2 rounds so you guys get the mechanics of the game, and then later play the full 3 rounds. So
Sure.
Okay.
we played 3 rounds because it says if you play with 2, just play the full game because you'll get through it in a decent amount of time.
Okay.
So you have your workers are called moguls, and you're moving your mogul on different action spaces around the board, and it's this one-way track around the board of action spaces. So think of something like Maracaibo or Tokaido, where you're moving on this one-way track, and you can go as far as you want around the track to take an action, but you can never go backwards.
Oh, and then is it the other player's turn until they catch up to you?
Yes. So similar to that of like, with all those games, Maracaibo, or even like, if you haven't played those games, like Patchwork.
Yeah,
if you're behind in Patchwork, you're always going until you're in front.
Yeah.
And so you can go as far as you want. The only restrictions on actions are you can't take the same action that someone else is on. So you can never go on that same spot.
Yep.
And you can never take two actions in the same zone. So there's different zones for actions. So like
the danger zone.
One zone might have 3 different resources. So you could never go and take this resource and then move one spot and take the second. So you have to move zones.
Sure.
And like you said, the player who's farthest behind will continue to go until they're there. And then a lap is 1 round.
Okay.
Another lap is the second round. And then the third round would be the last lap. And the action spaces are broken up into zones, and these zones are connected to buildings on the board. So they call these zones tenants, and the tenants are really cool. They have like cool different powers that you land on.
Ooh, I like a good power.
It's either an action on the space, or even the action might say take this card for later use. Sweet. So the card's like a one-time use or like a bonus throughout the game.
Yeah.
And what's also great that helps like variability is there's a whole bunch of different tenants. So you rotate. There's 3 spots per neighborhood, and I would say there's 10 to 12 tiles for each of those things, so they rotate out. So it could be different so next time Devin and I play it would be a completely different game.
I listen to you all the time when you talk. Just want you to know that.
Okay.
I'm probably more like captivated right now than I've ever been by any game you've explained.
Really?
Wow. I don't know why.
Natalie, you thinking about tea?
No. Okay. I'm thinking about the game.
What are you thinking about? Which game?
Another thing I really like about the game, as you take actions in High Rise, there are, and I said the name of the game, High Rise. Just as a reminder.
Nice. Cosmic Counter Duel. We played that.
There's like an action, and then there's an enhance action. But if you take the enhance action, you take this corruption. So you're also keeping track of your corruption.
Okay. So it's better for you, but it hurts you in a little way.
So the the whole thing is like you can build all the cities you want, but you got to get your hands dirty. So at some point, you got to take this corruption track. So you move up not only on this point track, but on the corruption track as you're doing things. And the main objective as you move around this track is to collect these different color floors. Which are pieces of steel, but they're just different color. So the different floors you're going to use those floors to meet blueprints that have been set out for that.
Okay, so that's not what you're putting onto the board.
Right. So I'm collecting like a gray floor, a black floor.
So these are like the resources that you need.
I'm collecting these resources to build this these buildings. So there's each blueprint. There's 3 blueprints, 1 for each round, and there are 6 buildings in that blueprint. So for the first round, you can build these 6 buildings. So you're trying to collect those resources in order to build those buildings and put them on the board.
Okay.
However many floors there are is how tall the building is. So there's spots on the board where there's construction. So you go to the construction spot, you take your resources, you take your floors off of your construction site and you turn them in. And if it's a 4 building, you get to put a 4 building out there. And that's where the standees come in. So the standees are different heights.
How high do they go?
15.
Ooh.
Which is pretty cool.
I saw some of the pictures. They looked really cool.
Yeah, our highest was 11. And then Devin got like a bonus spire, which was like a little thing on top. She stuck that on top. So you
get to like put a little thing on the thing.
So there's like a little
I like
spire.
putting things on the thing.
And so that's So it went from an 11 to 13. So she had like a 13 building. So I guess in theory you could have a 15 building
with a spire,
and you could actually put a spire on top of a spire. So you could get like really tall.
You can't triple stamp a double stamp.
Yeah. So
is this the one that she won?
She did not win this one. In her face.
In her face, Devin.
I won this one. So once each round has its own set of blueprints, so you can see all the blueprints in the game, and so you can kind of plan for later as you're building them. And if you're the first one to build a building, you get a bonus floor. So if it's a 4 floor and you're the first one to do it, it becomes a 5.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
And
I want to play this.
If you build it perfectly, there's some bigger ones that if you build perfectly and use this special resource as the special resource, you get another one. So you could, in theory, turn a 6 building into an 8 building, and you score that many points for how tall the building is. So you build 8 building, you get 8 points right away. And once the round ends, things kind of reset, and you score each neighborhood for a tallest building. So there's the 5 neighborhoods. Each building that's the tallest will score some points. Lower in the first round, higher in the last round. So you go each neighborhood one by one. You score the tallest building, and then the second round it's first and second, and then the third round it's first, second, third. And
Jay-Z's got a winner on his hands here.
Yeah,
this sounds
and then
good.
and then they also do just the points for the tallest building in the entire city. We'll get some bonus points too. And Yeah, you play 3 rounds. You score at the end.
Maybe
you
2.
get you look at your corruption track. So throughout the rounds, the corruption track will adjust. Like if you're furthest on the corruption track.
Yeah, what does that do to you? Do you just get negative
So
points?
yeah, you're going to get negative points at the end of the game. But it also looks at with 2 players, it works a little different than with 4 players. But so what Devin and I had to look at was we looked at how far we were away in points. If you were more than 5 points up, you didn't lose any corruption. If you were further back, like I was losing the first round by like 7 or 8 points, so I lost 2 corruption.
Oh, okay. Oh, you lose corruption.
So I lose
got
corruption.
it. Got it.
So it works a little different with 4 players where you're actually shifting your points and your corruption back and forth a little bit. So you're managing that through the game. And then at the end of the game, you're losing the points that you're on, which Devin and I both lost maybe like 12, 15 points.
Oh, wow.
Because of corruption.
Yeah.
But I
But
like
you're both doing it. then.
Yeah, I liked that mechanic a lot, trying to manage like, okay, I really want this extra floor. I really want this this cool action. Let me just take a corruption.
Yeah, that reminds me of Lords of Waterdeep.
Yeah, that little skulls. Yeah, which that reminded me a lot of that too. Overall, I liked it.
Sweet.
I really liked it, and I asked Devin, and this is something Devin doesn't say. I was like, Devin, did you like it? It's always a thing. So Devin said that she knows that it's a good game, but it wasn't her type of game.
You know what? That is like a very gamery analytical
Yeah.
thing to say.
She's like,
so
I didn't-
You're becoming a gamer,
You know
Dudash.
that it's like, yeah, a good game.
Whether you
but
like it or not.
It's just not your taste.
Yeah, she was like, I know that this is a good game. She just was like, it wasn't my favorite game.
Yep. Yeah, it's designed well.
Which
it
is
works.
a compliment.
Yeah, for sure.
Good thing. What about you? What'd you think?
I thought the art and the table presence was awesome. It was so cool taking these buildings and putting them on there. And there are certain times where you can like add construction, so you take a 9 and turn it into 11. You make it,
Yeah.
It was very cool. Like look at the board and have all those types of things. I liked that there was also some control aspects where if I put my building on the spot that was connected to one of those tenant spaces, I get to do that action. So there's cool of timing that where I can build and take an action.
That's cool.
If someone lands on the spot and wants to take that action where I already have a building, I get a little bonus. So I get a floor out of the bag, like a free floor, a free resource. So I liked that a lot. I liked the track, the action selection track, because really there's times
that's a cool
in the game
mechanism.
where you might need to just skip like 5 zones. Like you might want to go 3, 4, 5 zones ahead and just go partly around the board because like you need that action
Right
Yeah.
now.
instead of just piddly dinking around. So you can
piddly-dink.
like, go all the way around. the
that's a
board.
Devon term, right?
I liked that. Yeah,
Pillydink game.
yeah. I liked that. There's also some player interaction, but it didn't feel too much like take that. Like there wasn't really a ton where people were taking things from me. But like I'm cool with player interaction of like, oh, you're on the space that I wanted.
Yep.
Darn.
That's right.
That I'm okay with.
Knocking down
that
your
never-
building is a bummer. Does
Yeah,
that
so-
happen? Can like you knock my
yeah,
building
so
down?
there is if let's say there's 3 spots, so with 2 players there's 3 spots in each neighborhood. So let's say there's a 10, a 9, and an 8. In order to build in that neighborhood, I have to make it higher than the smallest building. So I'd have to have a 9, 10, or higher.
Sure.
And all I do is the smallest building would go away. Whoever had the smallest building actually gets 2 free resources.
Oh,
you
okay.
get
So it's
something.
compensation.
Yeah, so you
Little
get something
compy.
for that. That happened maybe 3 or 4 times in our game, but it didn't seem...
That's different to
you
me.
already score your points.
That's
so it's not
different
like
though,
you
Yeah.
lose.
because that's like, okay, I know I have the smallest here. I'm in trouble or danger of getting. It's not like I roll a 3 and those 3 buildings are dead.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You just screwed me up.
Like what? That's just
Yeah, it's not like that. And what you could do, so in that neighborhood where there's a 10, a 9, and an 8, you could actually build one that's smaller. So if you wanted to build a building that's 4, you say, all right, I'm going to build the 4, you turn your resources in, and what the directions say is you built your buildings in the suburbs and nobody really cares. And you still score your 4 points
Yeah.
for building the smaller building,
Yeah.
but it doesn't count for it being like
Okay.
that. So the player interaction was great and just didn't make me feel like butthurt throughout the game.
Yeah. Good.
Like, oh my God,
Right.
how ridiculous.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
And there was
screwed.
always, even in moments where Devin took the spot where she could construct, the next spot in that same zone is a construct, but I have to take a corruption or 2.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, well, I can still build a building. I just have to take a couple corruption. So there was always options for me, or I can skip ahead 4 zones and go to the next construction
Sure.
one if I didn't
Yeah.
want to do that. So I think the variability is really cool with all the different tenant tiles can be rotated. I'm really excited to see what else is there. I think scoring is like simple and straightforward. You're building buildings, you're scoring points. That's it. There's and that I think Devin liked a lot where there wasn't this, and I like point salads, and Natalie, I know you do
Yeah.
too, but there wasn't just a ton going on. It was, all right, how do I win? I build buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then here's
Right.
the ways that you can
Yep.
build these buildings.
Yep.
There wasn't a ton that I disliked. I would say that one of the things Devin didn't like that I thought was okay was we had to play with a neutral player because there was 2. So if you play with 3 or 4, you don't have to play with a neutral player.
Oh, there's dummy players.
But,
Okay.
So the dummy player, it's a little unique in that we trade back and forth controlling the dummy player. Okay. So you can choose to either move the dummy player and block a spot in the next zone, and then you just pass it along. Or you can move the dummy player to that spot and take that action, but you take a corruption.
Oh,
So you take a corruption. So you could get another action. So we're getting second
Right.
actions
You have
out
to,
of
like,
it.
pay
Yeah.
for it.
Which I liked. I was like, okay, that helped me plan some things where I'm like, okay, now I control the dummy player. I can get that floor and then move my worker there to construct this building.
Right.
So I liked that. Devin wanted, I think, just not to be able to do anything. She wanted to focus on her own.
Yeah, I don't want to have to
Play.
think about this
Yeah.
other
And I
stupid
think
thing.
that
I get that completely.
Yeah, that just comes with like our first play, me being more experienced in gaming and just knowing like how to.
Yep.
So she was like, I could have done without that, but I get why it was there, and that was honestly, that was my only issue.
Really? So you enjoyed it?
I enjoyed it a lot. I think
Better than
that-
Good Night Great?
Yeah, I think that if
I want to play it.
something it could bug you if it does take 3 hours, that could bug you.
That would suck.
But
Yeah.
us playing in 2, I didn't,
Yeah, that seems
and I don't know if
reasonable.
I don't know if I see a 3 or 4 player game taking
Longer?
That much
3
longer.
hours.
There's not a ton of AP?
I don't think so.
Cool.
You should be thinking about
Right.
stuff. but
Yeah,
I
it's
know
not
people
like
don't.
there's some games where you can't think
Right,
about what
because
you're doing
things
because
change.
the state changes
Right.
until your turn.
Yeah, and
so it
this
sounds
would
like you
be-
can probably
Yeah, you can go. All right, here are the 2 spaces that I might want to go to. Hopefully, no
someone
one
takes
it.
that. Okay, then I might have to think about what to do.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I didn't feel like we were waiting a lot. Maybe the last round we're trying to make sure we have the exact.
That's awesome.
stuff, but yeah, that was High Rise.
Sweet. High Rise by Ferret, Formal
Formal
Ferret.
Ferret.
Formal Ferret.
Formal Ferret with the
Gil
H to
Hova.
the Izo, V to the
So yeah,
Iz.
look up High Rise. Pictures are sweet. It's got an awesome table presence. Very
Yeah, the pictures you posted look really
Yeah.
cool. I want to try it just from those
Yeah.
pictures. There's some
Yeah.
games that do that. You see
Right.
it. There was another city game that kind of got raked over the coals because of the designer controversy that
Expand
happened.
City or
Expand
something?
City.
Yeah.
and it looked amazing. And now you don't hear anything about it.
Yeah, they had like almost like a Lego block.
Yeah,
sort
and
of
you like
stacking.
stack them up. So we went to Target.
Are you gonna sing like the King
a couple
song
weeks ago.
now?
What's the King song?
Da 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 da.
I was, but then you did. Stole my
That was the
thunder.
next song.
Yeah, stole my thunder. So we went to Target a week ago, 2 weeks ago, for something that we needed that was not board games. We came home with 2 board games.
Yes, for Scarlett's birthday present, and then we bought ourselves some presents.
So we bought 2 games that we played at Gen Con. This past Gen Con. So we picked up a game called Heist.
Yeah.
And a game called Pictionary Air. These 2 games, just go buy these games. This
just,
is
like,
a
cheap and
lot
fun.
of fun.
And like we play with Ryan's 8 and 6-year-old, and they
Love it.
They love them and they play them well.
Both of these games are very good with kids,
Very
but also
family-friendly.
very fun with adults
Yes.
and adults
Yeah.
only.
Yes.
So we played. All right, so let's talk about Heist first. I want to do a throwback. Bloop. Natalie, tell
Yeah.
us how to play Heist.
No.
Boom! Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
I was thinking about this morning, maybe in the shower. But I was like,
Thinking about you in the shower? Oh, tell me more.
Natalie hasn't explained a game in some
That's
episodes.
what Joe said
a long time.
at Jack's birthday
Yeah.
party.
Yep.
And I was
So
like,
here we
"Damn
go.
it."
We're doing it. Heist. Come on. We're starting you off
All
easy.
You
right.
got this.
All right, so Heist, it's like this little plastic cube machine thing.
Yeah.
And there's 4 sides, and each side is like a role. Like you could be the explosives expert or the money man or whatever.
Yeah.
And each role also has like a button on their side of the cube. And there's also a bunch of little like pieces that are like things like goggles or a computer or explosives or whatever. And they're just little like orange plastic pieces in the shape of their whatever.
Damn it, she's doing really well.
And,
It's not as funny.
Anyways,
I'm not laughing.
so there's,
Yeah, I wanted to be
there's
funny.
different levels. With the kids, we start on level 1, and basically what it does is it talks to you and it tells you, explosive expert.
Die, humans.
It basically says like the explosive experts gets the, goggles or whatever, and this person gets the gloves, and then if so you hand out these little things, and then
And it's important that the person that you do this right. It's
you
important.
do this right, because at one point they're going to be like, the person with the gloves
says use the gloves, which means press your button.
Yeah, which means press your button. And so if the wrong person has the gloves because you weren't paying attention or you weren't passing it around correctly, you get like a strike. And after like so many strikes, you lose. But if you keep playing it correctly, it kind of gets a little faster, and then eventually the gold pops out. It's like called Heist, so you're trying to like break this vault.
Yeah.
It's like a save.
But I mean, we've only played the first level with the kids, but at Gen Con last year we played the highest level 5 maybe, and it's
hard.
It's fast. It's super fast.
It feels so satisfying when you do it. When you actually, even on level 1, we were playing with the kids, and when the gold pours out, the kids are like, "Oh!"
Yeah,
they're like,
and then they all take the gold, and they're like, "I got 5, I got 3."
It's like, well, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
but so it's really fun. Yeah, because it's like Natalie said, it's like plastic cube, and it's got this mechanism inside it. As you're playing through it, and it's like trade the gloves for the computer, and you're like, okay, who's got the gloves? Okay, I got the gloves.
Yeah,
you trade
the gloves. You got the computer.
And then
trade.
it's like, and then it goes quick, and then as you start to do well, you collect money because you're pulling off a heist.
Yeah.
But there's this mechanism inside the middle where the gold pops out at the end, and as you're starting to do well, it starts to raise up.
Yeah, and it's like you're halfway there.
And so you feel like, okay, we're getting there. Oh yeah.
And like at one point too, I think it tells you like everybody press your buttons at this, like at the same time. You have to press them, and I think with the money too, if as long as you keep doing things correctly, it'll be like take $1 million, take $1 million, and you can kind of tell like if you messed up because there's going to be money left over at the end.
Yeah. And I think if you mess up too many times, you just die.
Then you just
lose. That hasn't happened to us because we've only so far with the kids we've only played on level 1. We played it 1 million times, but they don't want to go on to level 2 yet because they're nervous to do it.
Man, they're good at it and they love it, and
Lexi
we love it too. It's actually a game we play with them.
Lexi's a professional gamer.
She is.
Yeah.
She's incredible.
But that's the good thing about this is it's cooperative, and so nobody gets like butthurt over winning or losing.
Second butthurt.
Yeah, I know. I got to do one later.
Yeah, and then Pictionary Air.
So, all right, so that was Heist. Pick up Heist. It was like $25.
It's really fun.
Jeff's got it too,
I
right?
bought it recently after Gen Con. I bought it because I'm like, my students are gonna love this.
Yeah.
And
then they did.
then we shut down.
Oh.
Yeah, then
they
COVID
forgot to
happened.
But like I thought of it
Killing
when
all the
we played
gamers.
The first time. Delete.
Yeah.
I thought of it as like when we're watching, because I remember kind of like creeping by it and watching people play and go, what is that? Like, I want to go play it.
Agreed.
It reminds me, it's like extreme bop it. It's like
That's exactly what it's like.
Where everyone's like, pop it, twist it, spin it,
shake it, jack it,
and it's like,
fuck it, oh, suck it,
Run!
hump it.
okay, well, gotta cut this whole part out. It's like extreme bop it. Let me go back to where.
Delete.
Yeah.
Fuck it, suck
Run!
it, hump it,
James.
rub it, stretch it.
Wait, that's serious about it.
It's like dirty bop it.
Yeah. It's called fuck it. And you just play it with your girlfriend.
You don't need anything.
There's not even a thing.
dildo.
Yeah, you just. All right, I'm gonna say some commands, and you just do what I say. Fuck it. What? Okay.
Well,
suck it.
Part of the game, I guess.
the game.
Rub it.
Oh boy.
Well, that took a turn.
Yeah,
This is supposed to be a family-friendly section.
family.
I never said that.
Pictionary Air.
I just mean like this is the games we're talking
So that was yeah, you're right. So that was Heist. Play it with your kids.
Yeah, play Heist with your kids, not whatever Ryan's talking about.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Bob. It really took a turn. So then the other game we picked up was another one we played at Gen Con, which for some reason when we played it at Gen Con, I think all of us were like, we're in the future. This is the future. This is amazing. And it is really fun. So everybody's played Pictionary. If you haven't, it's a game where you draw pictures and you try to get people to guess what the pictures are. In this game, this is called Pictionary Air. And you have this like pen, and it connects via Bluetooth, I think, to like your iPad, and you can cache it to your TV. And you have a card, and the card will say, let's say birthday cake. Okay. And so everyone's in front of me looking at the iPad or the TV, and I don't see the iPad or the TV, and I have to, in the air with this pen, draw a birthday cake to try to get people to guess it. And when I draw in the air, it shows up what I'm drawing on the iPad, like on the tablet, or on the TV, whatever you're using.
But the person drawing can't see.
Yeah, well, like I said, the person drawing can't see the app or the TV. So that's all right, second time. And so the people guess.
Five
I'm
planets.
just reiterating.
I think it's 5 planets.
You win. Yeah, you win in Cosmic Encounter if you get 5. Planets on
up.
It's so much fun
It is
because
really
you're
fun.
terrible at drawing it, of course, except
Yeah.
Natalie
And I don't even know
No.
if,
and Lexi.
if you're
Yeah,
good,
Lexi's
if you're an
amazing.
artist, you can be very good at Pictionary. I don't know if you can be very good at Pictionary.
Yeah.
Because you also have to have that spatial
Yes.
element of
Right.
knowing, because you can be the best artist in the world, but if you don't know where did I just draw that circle now,
Right,
because
if
now
you're
you have to go
going
back and
to
reference
somewhere,
it.
Yeah,
because you can.
Well, a
you
cool
can do
thing about
that.
Pictionary Air that you can't do in regular Pictionary is, and Ryan
You can suck it.
really
and bump
enjoy
it.
it. Stop.
Hump it.
Ryan really enjoys
Stroke it.
doing this, but he like interacts with his pictures. So he would like draw an umbrella and then like hold it, pretend like he's holding it, and
Okay,
he's
yeah.
like under
Yep,
it.
all right, yeah.
You know, like he would do.
Yeah,
stuff
I would like
that.
draw
Or you
a
draw an umbrella
guitar.
here and you're holding this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like on the
exactly,
wrong
right.
side of
Yeah,
it.
you're like holding on. Yeah, right,
cool,
exactly.
yeah.
So yeah, I would like draw a guitar and then I pretend to play it, and
It
I'm a
helps people-
terrible artist, so people are like, "What is that?" And then I start strumming, and they're like, "Oh, it's a guitar."
Yeah, and that's really cool. And another thing that's really funny about it is because it uses like the green light thing, like it says don't wear like light blue or green clothing because that the color of the pen is green and picks it up. So we were playing with Ryan's like niece and nephew, and Jack had like these shorts on that had a green stripe on the side, and he would literally just walk back and forth and it would draw
And it would
lines,
draw on the screen.
You know? So then they're like, take off
Your shorts, and he's like, "What? Okay."
no.
Well, he did, and so his underwear are green, and Cameron's like, "Take them off," and we're like, "Nope, shut it down,
Yeah.
shut it
But
down."
it's like really funny. Like we've
that
had
kind of game.
people have had
Yeah.
to change clothes because it messes with
It is
but
so much fun. It's
Yeah.
great for families. If
Oh,
you're out
yeah,
there
the
and you
kids
have
love
some
it.
kids, or even if you just game nights are starting back up again. If you have that and you want to just do something for like 10 to 15 minutes, while you're waiting
Mm-hmm.
for the next game to set up or waiting for food to get there, it is so much
It is
fun,
fun.
and it
It's
works
super
surprisingly
easy.
well.
Yeah.
I was kind of shocked at how well it worked. I thought there'd be connection problems, and like you would draw and it would just
would,
like
like,
not.
miss.
Yeah, it would miss. It doesn't.
I
It's
mean,
like
yeah.
perfect.
All it
It's-
comes with is like the pen
future.
and the
It's the
cards,
future. We're in the
cards,
future.
suggestion cards of what to draw, and it was like $20 from Target.
And it's cool because you can draw a bunch of things. You don't erase it. Whoever's watching on the iPad erases it. So
be
you
like,
can
"That's bad."
you can like draw a circle and then stop and then draw things inside the circle and stop and then draw something over here and the circle with the thing is still on the camera.
So there's a button to hold on the thing to.
Yeah, you
It only
press the
draws
button.
when the button's
to
pressed.
draw.
So it's like a red light, and when it's green,
It is
turns green when you
so
press the
fun.
button.
It's a
Yeah.
great game. Both of these games are great
It
for
is fun.
gamers, families, and nons.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody would like these games. So that's Heist and Pictionary Air.
Good job, Target.
Yeah, Target rocking
Target is
it.
Target's becoming a place where even gamers can go buy.
I think they're
games.
recognizing that this is
basically-
this is an opportunity for
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
money.
they've even pulled in some Target exclusive games. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's
Jaws of the
great.
Lion.
Yeah, it's like Jaws of the Lion's going to come out to everybody this date, but 2 weeks early you can go to Target.
You can go to Target and
Like,
get it.
Yeah.
Like WTF,
That's like
mate.
That's a huge game. That Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion, people are.
I want it.
Yeah,
It's apparently the way to get into Gloomhaven.
Yeah, Joe
you know.
bought it.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Maybe our.
What do you mean way to get into
Yeah.
Gloomhaven?
It's like Gloomhaven, it's like an introductory Gloomhaven.
Oh, you'll
thing.
play that first, and then it's
Well,
not-
it's you could just not buy Gloomhaven and get
Yeah,
this. It's just a
set
But
up
it's-
time down.
it's
and
just a
supposed to be
much
like- yeah.
smaller, condensed version
Okay.
of it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you can. It's awesome. You can like suck it. You can lick it. You can hump it.
next game, Jeff.
Like, so Jeff, what else you been playing, man?
Well,
What you got
I'm
there?
going from a brand new game of High Rise to then a game that is currently on Kickstarter.
Okay.
So this game was sent to me by Resonim Games.
Oh yeah.
Do you know Resonim?
Yeah, Resonim
Yeah.
did.
Hold on, Natalie. Do
Oh
you know
yeah,
them?
yeah, you do it.
Oh no! I mean, I've heard of the name. I don't know like who else.
I'll say this: we have two
Yeah,
games
you have
by
two,
them.
you have basically the big two. Like they have one more. I don't remember.
Although one we did just get rid of.
Was it? Well, I don't know.
One is Mechanica.
Yep.
So they did Mechanica, and,
And
they
then
did Visitor and
Blackwood Grove.
Okay,
Which is the one that
gotcha.
me and Deepwater kickstarted.
Yeah, and they've done 2 successful Kickstarters, and as of I want to say 2 days ago, this is already funded.
Wow.
So this game is called Surrealist Dinner Party.
Surrealist
And Surrealist Dinner Party is already funded, working towards stretch goals. So if this is a game that sounds interesting to you, you're going to get it.
Yeah.
Because they've already funded. Okay. And they are they did some cool stuff. They did a Twitch launch for the Kickstarter. So
Yeah.
a couple hours before the
played it
Kickstarter
live?
went live, they were on there talking, answering questions from people.
Oh, cool.
They seem like very cool.
Yeah, they're very like involved.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
when we demoed Mechanica at Gen Con. I don't know if it was the designers. It was I don't know her name.
It might be Mary.
Maybe it was Mary.
Mary
She was
Flanagan,
like
I believe.
really like what do you think? Like, ask me any questions, coming over and like talking to me about it, and like she was just really into it, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
It wasn't it? You could tell it wasn't just a demo team.
Yeah.
It was her. It was like she like ran the company.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So-
They're cool, and they even I went on the Twitch stream and I said hey, and they like knew who I was. They're like, oh hey man, board gamer, go check out the Gamecasters
Yeah.
podcast.
Oh,
I'm like, oh my
cool.
gosh, you guys are so cool. I'm like crying.
Give us some play.
Yeah, so Surrealist
Help us.
Dinner Party. It's a card game for 2 to 4 players. It plays in like 30 minutes. Devin and I got through it even quicker than that because there was only 2 of us. So maybe 30 to 45 you're playing with slow people or 4 people. And so what it is all the players collectively are hosting this dinner party.
That was really funny.
That was funny.
Just want to talk about that for a second.
I didn't even write that down.
Good
That
one,
was
Jeff.
just-
Nice.
thank
Strap
you.
the brain.
Thank you.
Yep.
Strap the brain.
Slow people are 4 people.
And okay, so Surrealist Dinner Party. Everybody is hosting one collective dinner party.
Cool.
Okay. And it's a 6-course meal. And players begin the game with 6 cards in their hand.
Wait, did you say everybody's hosting a collective party?
Yes. Does that make sense?
You're
So,
hosting
So
a
there's
party
one
together.
party,
But like,
and we're all hosts of it?
and we're all, so
Okay.
we're all hosting this party.
Okay.
And we start with a handful of cards. So I think it's 5 or 6, depending on the player number. Slow people or 4 people. And who's arriving to this party are the cards in your hand. So on your turn, you only have a few options, which I like about the game because it keeps things very simple. The first thing that everybody has to do is they have to play a card from your hand to the dinner party. So even though the 4 of us are hosting, these are the guests that are showing up.
Sure. I'm
Okay.
bringing
To the party.
I'm bringing
Yeah.
Niv.
yeah.
Yeah, you bring it in. Yeah. So in the middle of the table is this cool platter, which if you back it on Kickstarter is like metal. Which
Oh,
is
cool.
awesome. So it's like a dinner platter.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
And
cool.
on the dinner platter are these tokens, and that's what's being served in this course of the meal.
Yeah.
So the first thing you can do is you can play a card to the dinner party.
Niv.
And and the other things you can do are you can take a food token from the platter and add it to your card. So
Plater platter?
platter
Sorry.
platter, yeah. Platter platter.
I don't understand the question,
Yeah.
and I won't respond to it.
I wanted something your thumb had touched. I'd or the inside of your ear.
Okay.
The rest of the development.
A Netflix original.
Yeah, Netflix original. Oh man.
Is it sad that I could tell what show it was from, even though I didn't?
From The Voice?
Yeah.
From The Voice, yeah.
Or just what they said.
Yeah. So each of these cards in Surrealist Dinner Party has these requirements in the top left-hand corner. So some of them are food, and some of them are an icon that represents drama or compliments.
All right.
So that's the requirements of each card. So you play a card, you can take tokens off of the platter and add them to your card,
Okay.
or you can have your guest start drama or give compliments. And
Start drama.
So as you start drama, so if I choose to start drama, I add a drama token to my card, and I add a drama token to one of my neighbors.
So I play a card. Jeff thought about Natalie in the shower.
Yeah, you can make drama. Yeah, which is kind of funny because I think if you get into the role, you can do stuff like that. You
Yeah,
say stuff like
yeah,
that.
that's
because
awesome.
It's such an
What
easy
What do
game.
you do? Like, what's the goal?
The goal is to fill up these requirements.
Okay, you wanna get your requirements
each of these,
filled up.
Yeah, each of these cards have, I don't know, 5, 6 requirements. And for each requirement that you fulfill when your guest leaves, you get that many points. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
pretty simple.
Oh, okay, cool.
There are some there's like a little expansion sort of that it's like the first person to collect 2 wine tokens gets an extra or whatever. But it's mainly filling up your cards. And what's kind of cool is that I have spot for 3 guests in front of me.
Okay.
You have a spot for 3 guests in front of you.
Sure.
Natalie, you have a spot for 3 guests. If my leftmost guest is going to start drama, I can start drama with one of Natalie's guests.
Oh,
Next,
okay.
So Natalie, she might not need a drama token, but she's gonna have to take a drama
Yep,
token and put it
getting one
on the
now.
spot so it kind of takes away a point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or same thing with compliments. I could give you a compliment, but your person might only need drama and wine.
Sounds just like Natalie.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
right.
Pull her hair and give her some alcohol.
Yeah. So
Not in that
hair's
order. No,
drama?
not in that order. Give her some
What
alcohol,
drama
then
do
pull
you
her hair. Pull it. Suck it.
there's a lot of editing in this episode. I thought you wanted to do this one quick.
I know. Sorry.
So as soon as the food tokens and drink tokens are off the platter, you move on to the next course. You reset that. Some of the Surrealist cards, the guests that you play, have these powers that happen at the end of the round. So maybe they add a token or take a token off something else. So they all have cool little powers. And it is fun.
Yeah, that sounds
It's-
cool.
It does sound fun.
Yeah, it's very. I
like the theme.
I hear people refer to games as like beer and pretzel games.
Yep.
It's a very beer and pretzel game. You can talk while you're playing it. There's not a lot of like thinking or reading. There's only 3 things you can do: play a guest, take a food token or start some drama. Or
Start some drama. That's like the hilarious mechanism.
Yeah,
Start some drama.
That's the only, you do 3 things. So it says it's all laid out. So if it even gets to your turn and someone doesn't know how to play games, like here's 3, do one of these 3 things and
Right.
move on.
You stupid non.
And
Figure it out.
and the art is incredible. The art is so cool. So there is one artist that has taken all of these surrealist, like actual living or dead surrealist artists and writers and have drawn them on these cards in these very surrealist way. And the art is like, you could buy the game. I think it's $20 or $25.
Your pictures were sweet of that.
You could buy the game and just hang the cards on the wall. Like even if you bought it, you could just like hang them up.
That's an idea. I've thought about stuff like that. That's an idea.
I think it's $20 or $25.
It's on Kickstarter now?
It's on Kickstarter now. As of now, I wrote down, I think there's like 15 days left.
Okay, today is July 19th as the date of this recording. So you have another couple weeks.
Couple weeks
to get in on it. And as Jeff said, it is funded.
It's
unless
funded.
they start some drama and take the
fun.
money and run away, you will get the game.
Yeah, they're working toward. I want this first goal to happen, the first stretch goal, because it turns the cardboard tokens into wooden tokens, and I want those wooden tokens.
Gotta get those tokens.
Devin think?
Stashing the base.
Devin liked it. She was like, "It's so it's hard to complain about a game that takes 20 minutes that we were just having fun." Like,
Right.
Okay, what is going on with this analysis from the Doodash? She is like, this is like high quality analysis that we're getting from
she
her.
probably played more games than she's played in her whole life.
Tell her we have an
Like
empty
game
chair
games.
if she wants to
maybe
come
she should
host
come in.
the show.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
she should
special
come in
guest.
and play.
Because I'm telling this analysis is not that of a non. I think she has reached
And
non
She's not a non
status.
anymore.
we took a walk the other day, and she on our walk was like, "Can we play Orleans tonight?"
Shut the fuck up.
Yep.
Shut
So we
your-
played
Are your
it,
dreams coming
and-
true?
Shut your ass.
Yeah. Oh, shut your ass. Turn your pelvis. That's from Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory. Turn your pelvis.
Oh man, which she beat me in
Orleans?
on I think it was Friday night.
Oh,
we
is
played.
that where she the one she? I saw there
Yeah,
was
she
like
beat me
a
by
post
2.
where
She
she
beat
beat
me
You said they're like, is that the one she beat you? And I'm like, what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
so-
Starting some drama?
There was a post that was like Devin beat me, and it was like 135 to
Yeah, she beat me by
137 or
2.
something.
That's
exactly
the
what the score was.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm good with
I don't know, like
I don't
something like
remember.
135 to like
numbers.
137.
So yeah, Surrealist Dinner Party. It's on Kickstarter. Resonant Games, cool company.
That's cool.
yeah.
That's
Sounds
awesome.
interesting.
Very, very
That's
good.
cool.
Very good stuff. So before
I'm
we
interested
get
in that.
into this episode's Instagram inbox, I want to take a quick break to ask
Bathroom break?
you all if you would please subscribe to us on whatever platform that you listen on. If you're not subscribed to us, I don't know if
simple,
you're
just a little
hearing
button.
it randomly, just hit the button, do that. Or if it would be also really, really cool for us if you listen on somewhere that allows you to rate us, if you could give us a rating. Obviously, no less than the highest possible. One, lie your butt off if you really don't like us. Whatever. We are trying to grow the show. We are trying to get out there and, get into more of your ears than are listening to us now. And so the only way we can do that is if, people spread the word. So we would really appreciate it if you love the show, if you even like the show, if you're on a platform like Instagram or Facebook that you have the opportunity to tell people about us, if you would do that. That would mean the world to the three of us. We can only promote ourselves so much. And if you like the show, it would help us a great deal if you could share, get the word out, tell people about us in whatever way you want. That's going to be the last thing I say about it until the end of the episode. So with that, it is finally that time where I can take a talking breather and let you all do my show for me in this episode's Instagram inbox.
And now it's time for the Instagram inbox with the Mad Board Gamer.
Welcome to the Instagram inbox. I am the Mad Board Gamer, and this segment will be about 4 minutes if you want to fast forward. I think Apple Podcasts has that 30-second thing. You just hit 30 seconds
yeah.
2 times, and then I'll be done. But I posed a question a few days ago on Instagram that asked, what is your favorite component, single component, or piece of any game that you've ever played or owned?
Yeah,
like
that's a very interesting question.
Yeah, because there are some really cool components out there, really cool pieces of games that just draw your eye. They're like, this is great.
Yep.
So here are some answers.
Okay.
And I want you guys to think of yours.
Yeah, I know. I have been. I'm like, oh,
So if you have something in your brain, I might say them. This is what I thought I was going to get a ton of, and I didn't get as many. Yeah, so this is Zim V 2.0, and we know her. The tree from Everdell.
Yeah, that's a tough one to not say.
Yeah.
It's just so imposing.
Or any of the stuff from Everdell, like the berries, and they're kind of like
the berries.
Everything about Everdell is talk worthy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that they did that game the right way.
You can just walk by and that tree catches your eye and you're like, what's that game?
What is that?
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
What is it? Any three-dimensional component like that? Like, honestly, I'm thinking of those buildings in high-rise are probably something that you could say.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay.
So apparently that it's called the Ever Tree. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So Joey knew that, and she told me Ever Tree. And she's like, honestly, I don't even put it on the table sometimes.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like it
She has
because
it
you
just
can't see
standing.
around it.
She has it like set up, but yeah, it blocks view sometimes, but it also is like a table hog, so you could save, especially when you're playing with all the expansions. But the tree is awesome.
It's sweet.
Yeah.
The McMeeples.
All right. Yep.
Know them?
Oh, yeah.
So that's Sam and Michaela. What Michaela likes is, you guys played Mechs vs. Minions?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the hourglass and Mechs vs.
Yeah,
Minions?
that is cool.
That's her favorite.
Yeah, that is. Okay. That's pretty sweet.
Sam's favorite is the insert of that game.
Sure, of course.
Yeah, that is
Also
awesome.
Nothing but
I'm
game
pretty sure when we
trays.
played that, I was always the one to put it away because I thought it was cool.
Oh, yeah, everything just fits so perfectly.
Yeah, I was like, I'll put it away.
Yeah.
It is very satisfying.
It's great.
That's a satisfying put
And
away.
shout out to the McMeeples. Last weekend, they had a all-day Saturday game-a-thon. I don't know if you saw this on
Yeah,
Instagram.
I did, and
They played
I messaged them.
15 games.
I'm
maybe,
like, how
on
are you doing
Saturday?
this?
I'm like, are you eating? And,
Yeah,
and
how?
these
And
are
they're
like-
heavy games they were
Yeah,
playing, some of
playing
them.
games. It's not like they
Wow.
played 10 games of quicks. Like
They wake up
were-
at like 5 in the morning.
I got up. So
I
I
don't
get
know,
up pretty much every morning at like 6:30. I would say that the first post might have been around 7:00
Wow.
a.m. that they were posting.
Yeah, I said, wow, this challenge is harder than it looks. Nice work. That's
Yeah, they were-
pretty boring. But what they, I don't have their
know,
story
they were
up now,
killing it.
but they were killing it. There was
Yeah,
like
so that's really cool.
tons of games.
They played Coimbra in the middle of the day. It was
Wow.
I was like, are you eating? Are you?
That was like, I don't know if it was Sam and Michaela, but there was another, and I commented on theirs too. They played Lisboa and The Gallerist
right.
back to back.
Nuts.
Holy hand grenade, that's
Like,
crazy.
did you pass out afterwards?
Right.
Like your brain is
Ay,
probably-
ay, ay. All right, man, go ahead.
Nestor has a mishmash. He takes the Mario Kart
course he
pieces
does.
and he puts them in when they play Downforce. So instead
Oh,
of,
I've seen. I think did he post a picture of
Yeah,
that?
he has,
Okay, I
yeah.
was like, I've seen that picture.
yeah, so that's funny. We got. Oh, this is funny. M Stop
Yeah. Okay.
Emily.
Yep. Sure.
favorite component: date night dice. So I messaged her. There is a game. I'm like, is that
Okay.
the
I'm
date-
like, is she talking about Ben?
I was like,
Yeah.
they have their
Is
own
Ben her
dice.
favorite
Well, I was like,
component?
is that the dice that has like sex positions or pizza on it or a movie or like what
Oh,
you're
the
supposed to do
actual
that night?
dice, right?
And then all she said was, haha. She was. I feel like she was very annoyed with me asking some questions about it, but she did confirm that they were the dice that have different things on them.
Okay.
That
You
Can't handle a follow up there, M.
clearly
Wait a minute.
not
Wait.
like that.
It's got to be those dice, right?
It is. She confirmed.
She did
that those
confirm.
were
I did
the
not
dice,
know
yeah.
that was called date night dice. So they're named after like
Sex dice. It's just like she just like powered down for a second.
Better Half Reviews, who's I think a first time answerer of questioners.
Okay.
They like the berries and Everdell.
Ah,
It's a good one.
way to spoil that one for
The
these poor
second
people.
choice was the Ambrosia and Ancient World, which we talked about last episode.
What
which
is-
a
what
very
is that
cool-
component?
It's like a cool plastic ambrosia
gelatinous
looking-
thing?
Yeah, it's a hard plastic, but it's very cool. It's like
Okay.
like a burnt orangish kind of color, but it's
Yep.
got a cool
I like
look
burnt
to
orange.
it.
Okay.
Mr. Measles.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Measles says a toss-up between the dumb mooing thing and Long Cow. Have you ever heard this?
what?
No,
Long
no.
cow.
Okay, never
No.
heard of this game before. He's like, it's a
Nice
stupid
egg.
game, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's a stupid game. But there's a little canister in there that when you tip it back and forth, it'll moo.
Oh.
So he says that's funny. He sent me an audio.
he calls it the
clip.
dumb.
Yeah.
Okay.
He sent me an audio clip of it mooing,
Oh,
so I can vouch
wow,
that.
okay, cool.
Or, which is one of my favorites, the Pyramid Dice Shaker in Camelot.
That's a cool thing.
That's a
In the
cool
first
thing.
edition of Camelot.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Because you shake
cool.
the dice and then you tip it over, the dice
Yeah.
would fall out.
Yeah, you like
Yeah.
hit that little button and it falls out.
CP Wilson 4 just loves metal coins.
Yeah.
Just like
anything metal.
Our
is
Mad
awesome.
Board Gamer loves metal coins
I
as
love
well.
metal coins. This is Chris, who is on our Facebook page.
Oh, yeah,
So
okay.
I believe Chris
Oh,
just
yeah,
joined
yeah.
our
The
Facebook
the
page.
new guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
If not, we'll cut this
Thank
part
you for
out.
listening, sir.
Yeah, if it's not Chris, we'll cut it out. I'll double check. But so he did specifically say that he loves and you guys can. Sorcerer City has interlocking Coins, is that right? He said, but specifically the ones from Sorcerer's City that interlock. Do you have some sort of coins? That
Interlocking coins. No,
Not that I
Or
recall.
there's something that interlocks in there?
the what? Not that I can think of.
There's, like-
Uh,
but I am stupid.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't remember that.
Interlocking coins.
Sounds cool.
I want one.
Yeah.
We have the version
Can
of
I have an
chocolate?
interlocking coin?
Low carb
Give me that
Susie.
and some sex dice, and I'm good.
Oh my god.
Low carb Susie.
Low carb Susie.
I love that name. That's great.
Low carb Susie sent me a message that said dice.
Okay,
Just
so
dice
yeah,
in general?
just
are
dice,
just
no
great.
discriminatories.
I was like, what kind of dice? She's likes the wooden dice, and Wingspan was one she said, like the wooden dice. So,
okay,
Great
she's
ones.
a dice fanatic.
yep. And I got the exact same answer back to back from Black Strawberry Games. Also likes dice.
Also, just likes dice.
yeah, just
That's a
likes-
popular. That's a popular thing
Yeah.
to enjoy.
So I asked
Yeah.
Black Strawberry Games, give me something, and they said that the Sagrada dice just get
those
the
are
job
awesome.
done.
Those
Yeah.
are really cool dice.
Beautiful. Emotional Cyborg, who we hear a lot from.
Yep.
So shout out.
Yep.
Tactile Currency. So
Okay,
games
yeah.
with poker chips, metal
and
coins.
coins.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah,
It's fun
Ryan
to
likes
fiddle
those.
with.
Yep.
While you play games.
Too many
Yep,
bones.
I do love some poker
Jim
chips.
Gamer
Oh yeah.
likes the skulls in Dead Man's Cabal.
Okay.
What those look like. In my brain,
feel
I
like
like
I
the
just-
Zolkin skulls.
That's all. Which are
Yeah.
also the kind of the skulls in Lords of Waterdeep.
Yeah, which are very
Those
cool.
skulls are sweet.
Jim Gamer likes Crokinole board
Yeah.
and his iPad while he plays Lord of the Rings: The Journey Through
Middle Earth. Yeah.
Journey in Middle Earth.
That's his favorite component.
Yeah, his
That's funny.
own iPad.
That's really funny.
He's like, well, I also listen to music and watch Netflix.
That's a good component.
So yeah. Fantasy and Some Flight says this may be cheating, but the Zolkin gears. I'm
no
like,
way.
That's not cheating.
That's a
at all.
component. That's a
great
component of the game.
component.
Yeah.
Yep. A Couple Games 2014 likes the Dino Island Workers.
Dino Island.
So Dinosaur Island Workers.
Oh,
are they-
Dinosaur
Oh,
Island.
Yeah. Are
yeah.
they dinosaurs? Or no? You put
No.
dinosaurs in there. What are the workers? Like?
The workers are just little meeples, I thought.
Oh, maybe the dinosaurs.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh yeah.
I mean, maybe
And
we
then
played with it.
also has a secondary one of the palaces and the palm trees and 5 tribes, which I love. as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Those
Those
are
are
very
cool. Those are cool.
Mr. Day 1607
Lewis.
likes beating Ryan in chess.
Is that what he said?
He didn't
Well,
say
good because he hasn't.
Oh, boo.
So
Oh,
Man,
challenge.
is that why you haven't been
No,
playing?
he likes the foam guns and cashing guns.
awesome.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
those
those
are
are
cool.
fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah.
2 more bad board game covers. He said like, I think you're going to get a whole bunch of Wingspan and Everdell answers, which I didn't get a ton of. But he
Okay,
said,
couple
he
Everdells.
said I'll pick the President and Chancellor place cards from Secret Hitler. which I've
Okay.
not seen.
I can't believe we haven't played that.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Yeah.
That's kind
Heard of
of
the
well.
game,
That
but
okay.
I've
I'll
never
say
played
that kind of came out after our. So Jeff and I had this very like lengthy love affair with all things social deduction.
Yeah.
And Secret Hitler kind of came out after we were kind of
Yeah,
off
we're
of the
like
honeymoon
almost burnt
phase.
out a
Yeah,
little
we
bit.
were kind of burnt out.
Okay.
We played the Resistance, Avalon, and
Yeah.
all those kind of games hundreds
wanna
of
play it.
times. Yeah, I want to play it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know this user, DK Madigan.
Never heard of the guy.
Oh, this is Dave's
Donkey
first
Kong?
response.
Donkey
My
Kong.
own brother's
What?
first response to the Instagram inbox. He says, obviously the tree from Everdell, but the runner-up is
Obviously.
the airship from Celestia. Which
That is really cool.
airship.
That is really cool. It's like a bunch of
So-
cardboard pieces put together in a 3-dimensional ship, and then you
Yeah.
put your pawns on it and fly around.
very cool.
Yeah, that's a great one.
So how did you guys think of one that
I have a
jumps out at you?
couple.
Yeah.
I really like and it sounds so stupid saying just miniatures, but the miniatures in Anachrony are really
I was gonna-
awesome
yeah,
because you
The
put
exoskeleton
because
thing
you
really
yeah
cool.
the exosuits because you put the little things in the exosuits
Yeah.
and you put them on the board and it just makes it kind of like makes
Yeah.
it bigger. But for me, if I had to actually say one thing, it is, and this is gonna not surprise many people, it is pretty much the player mats in Too Many Bones.
Yeah.
Oh,
those
yeah,
are
we're-
They're
awesome.
so cool. You like put the dice inside. They have
spots for the
cutouts, little
dice,
things.
yeah.
They're so awesome. That's
Yeah.
probably my favorite component. I think. Of
Natalie, you
everything.
got one? Thinking of any?
I mean, I thought of a
I
couple.
know you like Everdell. That's like,
Yeah, Everdell, like Wingspan. I like the little dice tower.
Yeah, the
and
birdhouse.
Yeah,
and
that's a good
the
one.
eggs, and then I was looking at Beast of Balance. Those.
Oh,
super
good
cool.
call. Beast of
Yeah.
Balance
Answer.
is great.
Yeah.
I thought of the strike box. Just the
Yeah,
arena.
that's a cool
'Cause you
component.
could really throw it in a box and it'd probably. But
I feel like that arena. You need that.
man, it
Yeah.
messes you up.
Yeah,
sometimes.
because the
Yeah.
way those things, we haven't
gotta
played a good
strike it.
strike in a long time. You
Yeah.
gotta strike it. Strike it.
Yeah, so that was some cool game components that people love and that I love.
That's sweet.
So.
Yeah.
Thank you for that inbox. And if you just fast forwarded, we have something
back.
completely different now. Natalie has an unusual surprise for us in this episode's board game beatdown.
gave you number one. You think you're number one? He gave you
Today's board game beatdown, I thought I'd do something a little different. It's still a version of a beatdown, but instead of picking one game and beating it to death, I decided
Dude, they're all dead.
Yeah.
They're all the ones who previously have died.
I went on Reddit and I
Reddited.
found this question that somebody posted that says,
Yeah.
what is the worst board game you currently own? And they also asked, for kicks, tell us why it's the worst and why you still own it.
Oh, yeah.
Good one.
And
Oh,
so
yeah.
I picked some
Okay.
Can't wait for
comments that I
this.
thought were pretty funny. According to BGG, the game with the lowest rating I have in my collection is Star Trek, The Next Generation, Interactive VCR board game, a Klingon challenge.
VCR board game. Okay.
There's the actual
There's
name.
more colons in that than gay porn.
Oh my god. Ryan.
I knew it was bad as it was in my head, but I was like, I don't think I can not say it.
Oh, and then he
Good.
says,
Watch. Look, I didn't say a whole lot.
I can't, I'm not you. I can't do it. Okay.
he says, but BGG can go fuck itself on that one. Look at how many colons that title has and tell me you wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10. And then somebody commented on that and said, holy crap, that's even worse than Street Fighter, the movie, the game.
So what is it again? Star Trek,
Star Trek, The Next Generation, Interactive VCR board game, a Klingon challenge.
That's so funny.
The next person said, probably Battle of the Sexes. And then there was a
game sucks.
comment.
That's terrible.
Yeah. There was a comment that somebody posted. They said on BGG, it says, not best with any number. And then another person commented and said, oh God, my sister-in-law made me play that game last Christmas. Hands down the least fun I've ever had.
It's bad.
And then someone else said, girl question, the part of the car that makes it go, hint, it's under the hood and takes gasoline to run.
Oh my
Guy question,
gosh.
the main ingredient in this particular type of lotion that was invented in 1909 by Elizabeth Zimmersdale.
That's totally true. Oh my gosh.
so
Me and Donkey
sexist.
Kong played this
I have
many years
I might
ago, and it
still
was
have it.
that crap.
Yeah.
There was one question that we remember. It was like, I think this was Battle of the Sexes. And the girl question was, who is the greatest Orioles third baseman of all time?
Oh yeah, it's like what's his opinion question?
Yeah, like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's an opinion.
How is that in there?
It's Cal Ripken.
That's a
Yeah,
game I
right.
played a
It's
lot
Cal Ripken,
before
but yeah,
I
but-
met you.
Yeah, that's funny.
You saved me, thank you.
You're welcome.
Another person says, Uno Attack. A used copy was given to me. When you get a hit card played on you, you are supposed to hit the button on a machine, which will spew out random amounts of cards. Problem is, sometimes you get 0 cards and sometimes you get 10 cards. As if Uno needed to be more random. Also, the batteries die quickly, and if they are low on juice, you'll get 0 cards. And then someone commented and said, in other words, when the batteries die, you go back to playing Uno. It's like an escalator. It never breaks. It just turns into stairs.
That's funny.
This one I picked because I thought the name of the game was really funny.
Okay.
Their worst board game they own is called Evil Baby Orphanage.
Whoa.
Evil Baby
bad.
Orphanage?
Love the theme and the artwork. The gameplay is terrible and pointless.
Love the theme.
Evil Baby
Come on.
Orphanage?
You love the theme of an evil baby orphanage?
You are a supervillain if you love that theme.
Someone else says, Zombies. Without a doubt, even worse than Triominoes. And then
Oh.
someone commented and said, I like Triominoes.
Did they say it? I like how you read it the way they probably.
They were
Yeah.
like, I like Triominoes, ...
Triominoes is like dominoes, but they're triangles.
Oh. Appropriately named.
Yep.
The next person says, I got you all beat. Touch is the game of palmistry. Learn the not very interesting science of palm reading while playing an incredibly
oh my God,
dull
I just touched
game
you.
by Parker Brothers.
Okay. Is this real?
Are these a real game?
I know. Is that's?
I guess.
Oh,
heard of some
okay.
of these.
Interesting. Touch.
The next person says, I'm actually proud of this one. I have the Bullwinkle and Rocky role-playing party game.
Wait, it's
Bullwinkle
Rocky and
and Rocky?
Bullwinkle.
Yeah,
Who
that's
says
weird.
Bullwinkle and
That's what
Rocky?
it
It's
says.
Rocky and Bullwinkle.
He's like, it's such a bad game. Oh, man. Where do I even start? And then he lists like
First of all, the
these...
name's backwards.
Right. He lists a bunch of bullets, but the funniest ones are, say, first, instead of an ability score or dice to roll, each character has a spinner. If it lands on yes, your character succeeds at whatever you're having them do.
Oh.
If it lands on no, it fails. Fun fact, Bullwinkle spinner's 90% filled with no. And then another part of it is, and perhaps my favorite element in the game, this game doesn't have counters or miniatures to represent your character. Instead, the game uses hand puppets.
You get to put a hand puppet of Bullwinkle on? I want this.
Whoa.
And then spin the no. Damn it, Rocky. I don't know if that's how
It's
he's.
just completely absurd. I actually bought the game because of how bad it is.
Wow, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. The next one says, I own both the Dexter and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia board games. Probably two of the worst games I still own. The only reason I still have them is because I bought them as gifts for my wife, and my purchases of both predates me getting into hobby games. And then...
Is that really a good reason to keep them?
No.
Well, he
I don't
bought
really
them for his
understand.
wife, so they're like hers.
Doesn't his wife want to get rid of them?
Yeah,
So
right.
bad?
I mean,
Yeah.
they're terrible.
But then
He's
there's
posting
a
on
comment.
Reddit. They're so
this
bad.
is the only person's username I put because their username is your stupid face. And they just say bought Sunny at Christmas. Glad to know it sucks, but your stupid.
Your stupid
Your
face.
stupid face.
That's hilarious.
nice. That was good.
Probably one of the variations of Seen It DVD games or Dirty Minds, but I just hide those in the
Dirty
closet so they don't
Minds.
take up valuable space on my board game shelf.
Games that try to be dirty are terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Seen it.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Oh, we got some weather.
yep.
Yeah.
There's weather happening
My
out
golf
there.
We don't
plans
lose
might get
power.
canceled.
We're on the laptop this
Yeah,
time,
true.
so we're good.
Save
We're
it.
good
Save
to
it.
go. Yeah, I did
It
save
wasn't
it.
even raining last time when we lost power.
Yeah, a tree fell down.
Anyways, the next person says Ninja Burger is probably my least favorite game that I own.
Ninja
So
Burger.
boring and relies so much on chance, and the humor does not even begin to make up for it. At least no one ever begs to play that, though they do. Sorry. At least no one ever begs to play that, though. Like they do with Cards Against How Many Times Can You Say the Same
What?
Joke Possibly to Be Funny to You? I think they're trying to make fun of Cards Against Humanity.
Cards Against Humanity. Yeah.
Someone else says, well, all my worst games were gifts from my ex.
Yeah.
It's always nice to get games as a surprise, but these games isn't my favorite.
See, I don't agree with that because when you tell people or people know like you're into board games and then they find some board
Yeah.
game at like Kohl's or
That's not what I want,
Right.
man.
random thing and you're like, this
no.
is not good. So
we got
I would
one
say
at Christmas once.
yeah,
It
most
was like
of-
a 90s, like,
People don't know.
Yeah.
Well, you're into
No.
games. I think you'll like
Yeah, look, I
this
found
game I
this.
got at Target called Sequent. Like, no.
yeah.
I don't want that.
Let's see.
I'm a snob. Don't you know?
Yeah.
Someone else says, BGG says Monopoly. I say Chinese checkers. Stupid, horrible game.
I like Chinese checkers. When I was
Let's
younger.
see. This person says Maginor.
That's the game or that's their username?
That's the game.
Okay.
Maginor. I bought it when I was really
Maginor?
early in my board game collecting, and it was designed by a name I recognize.
Who?
Surely that means quality.
Shirley?
Damn you, Knizia.
It was Knizia. Oh, okay. Maginor. Huh.
Knizia's got so many games.
He
You
does.
Can't, like,
He's
that
got
Reiner
a
Knizia
ton.
guy.
That Reiner Knizia.
Someone else says, it used to be Flux, but now it's Phase 10.
Phase 10.
Phase
Okay.
10 is okay if you're getting people out of like playing Uno.
Yeah.
Like, don't stop playing Uno, play Phase 10,
Right.
and then get away from the
Then
both
play
of those.
Kalis.
Right.
Yeah.
This person says, ran across a game called Crappy Birthday on
oh,
sale for
Bill is in that
$3.
game,
Bill
I
is
think.
in
Really?
Crappy
Yeah,
Birthday.
he's in
Yeah.
that game.
What is it?
It's a crappy game.
It's a crappy game.
It's like
I think it's like a matching thing where you're
yeah.
giving, like the cards
It's like a
have
little
some
party
crappy
game.
present in your hand. I don't know, but it's
Yeah.
not good.
Weird.
crappy birthday.
And this one says, I'm sorry I didn't know about the Kickstarter until now, so I couldn't warn people about it, but the preview sample pack of the Princess Bride Prepare to Die game is by far the worst game I've ever played or even seen. I'm so sorry. Yeah. I'm so sorry that so many people paid $30 for the game. It's advertised as being like Apples to Apples or Cards Against Humanity, except it's not even remotely funny or enjoyable. Here are some example card combinations.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Emily Dickinson. You built my estuary. Prepare to die.
What?
Okay.
Hello, my name is Arnold Schwarzenegger. You netted my zebra. Prepare to die.
Oh my god.
Hello, my name is Princess Peach. You sacked my conservatory. Prepare to die.
Sacked
Okay,
my
not good.
conservatory?
It was like, I'm not even sure when you built my estuary would ever be funny.
What's an estuary?
I don't know. I Googled it, and it's.
I feel like I know that word.
I
but-
Googled it, and it was like some sort of like land area where like this water meets the land.
The tidal mouth of a large river where the tide meets the stream.
Right. And then I typed in Emily Dickinson in estuary because I'm like, maybe there's like a poem she wrote that's like, I couldn't find anything that made any sense.
If I'm assuming one card was Emily Dickinson, the other card was.
Yeah, they probably didn't have anything to do with each
Yeah,
other.
yeah. And then
doesn't
the
sound
last
funny.
one
Nope.
I have
Sure don't.
is this person's worst game they own. It's called Pimp, the Backhanding. Great artwork, though.
Man. Pimp the backhanding. Man.
I love you, Bender.
Great
Shut up, baby. I know. Wow, that's crazy.
That was cool.
All these games are now dead, apparently,
know.
from being
There was
beaten
like
down.
there was a lot of I saw surprisingly, I mean, there was like a ton of comments.
Oh yeah.
I saw like several. I mean, there was a lot of Munchkin. There was a lot of Small World.
People don't like that game. A lot of people don't like that game. I remember when I first played it with Bill way back in the day. After he played it, he was like, I've heard nothing but bad things about this, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, really? Yeah, it gets a lot of hate.
Yeah. It was interesting.
Chugga 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 chugga.
Oh no, we're totally failing.
Well, that's right. We're dusting off a classic and going back to our roots with another association station. The vulgarities that you've grown to forcibly be accustomed to the past couple episodes will be taking a vacation in this game. Jeff, Natalie, are you guys ready to ding the dinger in this episode's association station?
Yeah.
Ding.
If you're unfamiliar with the association station, what we do here is I will list 10 games that Jeff and Natalie have to correctly guess based on the clues that I give, which are in some way associated with the game in question. That was the most confusing way to describe it. Here's an example. Constantinople. Jeff, what game am I thinking of if I say Constantinople?
Istanbul.
He just associated the shiz out of that.
You're so smart.
Here we go. Number one.
Oh man.
boy.
How many? I'll keep score.
There's 10. Yeah, please keep score. Thank you. Number one.
So long.
Septuple Astonishment. Some of these games may have been recycled. Ooh, Jeff, what do you got?
7 Wonders.
That's correct. Natalie, you knew that one?
Yep.
All right, so now you understand how the game works. Septuple Astonishment.
That was
Jeff
just
corresponded
practice,
to 7
yeah,
It
Wonders.
doesn't count. That was only worth a half a
So now there's only 9. All right, the game starts with 9. Number 2. Prejudice.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
They're not vulgar. Prejudiced museum patron. Prejudiced museum patron.
Prejudice. Museum patron.
Oh boy. Someone who
Prejudiced museum
prejudiced
patron.
but loves museums, or they prejudice about the museum.
Prejudice museum patron.
It's just some dude that goes to a museum. Do they have a? Does people who go to the museum have a specific name?
I don't
Museumers.
know. Artsy fartsy.
Artsy fartsy.
You didn't buzz in, artsy fartsy types. All right, we'll put that one. We'll put that one there. All right, in the
Visitors.
prejudiced museum patron.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Number 3. See if you can. Anyway, people at home, see if you can guess prejudiced museum patron. Number 3.
Yelling in your car.
Put it in the hole. Jeff.
Crokinole.
Crokinole.
I got that, but I was like, is it-
really shocked you didn't get that one
I thought
immediately.
Crokinole, then I was like, I don't know if that's right.
It's right.
I wasn't sure.
It's
about
right.
it.
Right.
It's right.
Darn.
It's right. Jeff 2, Natalie 0. Come on, babe. Get in on this one. Do you know prejudiced museum patron? Probably
No.
not. Here we go. Number 4. 2 Rivers. 2. Natalie.
Tigris and Euphrates.
I also would have accepted Yellow and Yangtze.
Okay.
Correct. Tigris and
Good one,
Euphrates.
good one.
Very good. Very good.
Those are 2 rivers.
You nailed it. Number 5. So we're 2-1 now. Number 5. This bish broke up the Beatles. Jeff's about to. Oh, Natalie.
Onitama.
No, incorrect. What? Onitama? Okay, don't say anything incorrect.
Okay.
Jeff.
Are you going with Yokohama?
Yokohama.
Yokohama.
Onitama.
I got it. Yoko. Oh no.
Yoko, I know. I was like
That's the
Yokohama.
only-
I'm like Uno.
The
No,
only
probably not
thing I
Uno.
think of is like, oh no.
I see where you're going with it now. Yes, Yokohama.
All right, good one.
That one makes way more sense.
Yeah.
We're not doing video this time, but I wish you could have seen both Jeff and Natalie were like looking up to the left with their mouths open, like, I know it. What is it? I know it. What is it? I know it. What is it?
We knew
I
the
know,
correct answer.
yeah, I
We
know
just said-
Yoko Ono,
Yeah.
but it's like, what game could that be?
Oh, 'cause in my head I was like, if they know it's Yoko Ono, they'll probably get it.
Okay.
All right, that's it. Okay, number 6. So it's 3-1 here. Number 6. Remember, the last one's worth however many points we
Yeah.
need for Natalie to win. Number 6.
For me.
yeah, right. Jeff
Yeah,
always
I
starts.
know.
Number 6. How many kitchens do you need? How many kitchens do you need?
1.
Yeah.
Natalie.
Uno?
Nope. That's good.
I almost did.
That's not a bad answer.
How many kitchens do you need? Do you need? Do I need?
Damn you.
Now you know the answer?
No.
Oh.
But I know I
Jeff,
can't
how many
guess it.
kitchens do you
kitchens
need?
do you need?
That's a weird.
How many kitchens do you need?
How many? Just
Is this like a? It's not science, but
yeah.
No, I will.
Bob,
Here's
first,
my clue. Jeff needs clues because he's behind by being a. My clue is Natalie was on the extreme right track there. Very, very. You were thinking the correct
Oh man.
type of thing, just not
I'm
what
gonna
I
pass.
not what I want. Okay, that's fine.
Head
should've
bob
known
shoulder
you would
movement.
pick Uno as a game.
Huh?
I said I should have known you wouldn't have picked Uno.
You should have. Number 7. Not the middle.
Not the middle.
Not the
So
middle.
what are things other than the middle?
Not the mama.
Not the
Things that are
middle.
not the middle are the top or the bottom, or even like the start or the finish. If we're not,
He's
the
making a
middle.
face.
Nope.
I
No,
know.
he's not.
Well, he's making a face. Remember one time what we like? We didn't get some answer like we should have gotten right away. We were like saying it.
This is not one of the. I do think.
Oh, like
I
we were
know.
basically saying it, but we just never like guessed it, kind of thing.
The
You could also be messing with me
end.
too.
Do you people at home know it?
beginning.
Not
Is there a game
the
called
middle.
The Beginning?
I don't know. No, not that I know
Is there a
of.
game called The End? The not the mama.
That's all I can think of right now.
Not the mama.
I don't know.
We can move on.
Oh,
we can move
man.
on.
All right.
Okay. So Jeff is still up 3-1, I think.
Yeah.
All right, we're on number 8. You're just gonna
Can I go back?
Number 8.
wait.
Oh,
Can you go
okay,
back
so
to
you
what?
got-
Not the
Yeah.
middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Above and below.
Yes, above and below.
Oh, nice.
I was
That
like,
a great one.
dude, you from the very beginning, you were just taking yourself to the path to get there. You were like,
And I just
not
get
the
it.
middle. Okay, what's not the middle? Top and bottom. I'm like, oh my god, he's got it. All he's got to do is associate those two things. I thought you were gonna be like above and below. Boop. I'm like,
That was a
Jeff
good
just
one.
noodled that
Yeah.
out perfectly.
Man.
Good job, Natalie. Good
Jeez.
job. 3-2. 3-2. All right, we go to number 8. Here we go. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
Lightning rock. And as he dings,
man.
did you hear?
Thunderstone.
Thunderstone. As you ding, the thunder hit.
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah.
Good job, good job, good
We'll
job.
put in like
Yeah, we'll put in some thunder.
yeah. Thunderstone.
Fake thunder.
Lightning rock, thunderstone. No, all right, 4-2. You got to get these last two to even it up.
Well, there's two that we.
Yeah, and then there's
Or
True.
one that
Prejudice
I
Museum
guess.
patron.
And
And how many kitchens do you need? Well, you can't get that one though. Okay, number 9. Dry heavy wine.
Try heavy wine.
Dry heavy wine.
think about wine. I think I need to know something about wine.
Natalie.
Vino?
Yes, ma'am. Vinos. It's heavy
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
It's about
well,
wine.
I thought Vinos, and I'm
Probably
like,
it's kind
why
of
is he
a-
saying so many words? But I'm like, oh, because it's a heavy,
heavy
game.
game, I
Then
get it.
yeah, I've noodled it out.
Nicely done. All right.
She noodled it.
So we're at 4-3.
4-3.
Oh, here we go with the last one. Number 10. Marriage fart.
Marriage fart.
Marriage fart.
Marriage fart. This is for all the marbles.
All the fart.
Marriage
Marriage.
fart.
Marriage fart.
Correct. Marriage fart.
I have an idea, but I think it's maybe wrong.
What?
That's a good
Is
one
it
to
Uno?
say.
No.
Marriage.
That-
If you think it's wrong, it's probably a good idea to ding in. All right, so you have marriage fart. You have how many? Oh, Jeff.
Fog of love.
Damn, that's what I was gonna say.
Why didn't you?
I thought it was
should've done
wrong.
it.
You needed to
Fog.
buzz in to win, Jeff.
No, I
takes
should have just
victory.
went for it. Damn.
Nicely done. So you have missed
There are two.
Prejudice Museum patron.
Well,
yeah,
I
but she
can't
can't.
do
She
one
can only
of
get. Oh yeah, so she could tie. She
If
could tie it
I-
up with.
We won't count these as like the score, but we should still try to guess them.
Yeah, we'll keep. We'll
So
try.
we have Prejudice Museum patron. And how many kitchens do you need?
Does the game have to do with the kitchen?
How many kitchens do you need?
One kitchen. One. Uno. You already guessed that.
Pit?
How many kitchens do you need? Pit.
I don't know. This doesn't make any
A terrible
sense.
game with two.
I told you what you said is almost exactly
There's another
correct.
game that's similar in title as Uno.
You guys have been. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised because it's tough to get your brains to think like my brain, for sure. But you were like, Jeff, I thought was going to get it about 7 times.
Really?
Yes. Prejudice Museum patron is the difficult one, I think, of these.
I
this
got
batch?
a guess.
For what?
Prejudice.
Museum patron? Go ahead.
Nope.
It's not nope. It's not nope.
I want to say modern art, but I don't think that's right.
You're right. It's not modern art.
All right.
Modern art is a prejudice museum
I'm still
patron.
gonna be guessing them because
That's fine.
over.
Guess them. Jeff.
How many kitchens do you need? Just one.
Just one.
Oh,
Just
damn it.
Alright.
Just one.
Just
He has
one kitchen.
He has put
Now
the
I
game
get
out
it.
of reach.
That's good.
Now I understand.
Just one. Yeah, because
Just
you were
one
like one. I was like, oh. It's like, just one. I just need one.
Yeah.
And you were like Uno, and I was like, that's actually good. Uno's not bad. I thought a minute. I was like, should I just give it to her? And I was like, no, I didn't have that. It's not in the rules. I actually
been
have
like,
for Two
yes.
Rivers. I actually have either Tigris and Euphrates or Yellow and Yangtze will be acceptable.
Prejudice museum patron.
How many kitchens do you need? Just one.
Just one kitchen. Get it out. First comes science. Bobbity, bobbity.
We're like, what the hell?
Prejudice museum patron's the last one. Okay, we're gonna move on.
I want to
Yeah.
know it.
In today's top 5, we are going to give all of you Eurogame haters some Eurogame suggestions. That's what you wanted, right? I know I always want to know more suggestions of things I hate. Please show me some Justin Bieber songs and recommend me some rom-coms. So we're going to go Natalie, me, Jeff this time. You have a hand
Is it the
raised.
Gallerist?
It is. It's the Gallerist.
Gallerist.
Damn.
The Gallerist is a prejudiced museum patron. So
Okay.
if you're racist, you are prejudiced against people who are not right. If you're a gallerist, you are prejudiced against. Okay, that was
I only
my
said it
that was
because
my
that's the
thought
only,
process.
Like, museum-y
All right, no, you
one I
got
could
it.
think
That was my thought process. Well,
besides modern.
Does it make sense at least to you now?
Yeah.
No, they're not all winners. Again, my brain, my
Remember
rules.
what your niece said when we were playing Pictionary Air? He was like,
Leah.
were my drawings good? And she was like, well, and he's like, what? They weren't. And she's like, well, my parents taught me not to lie.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what? She's like, well, the guitar one was pretty good. All the rest are terrible. I'm not that great at drawing in the air
I'm great at drawing
when I can't
let alone
see.
air.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right, so we're going to go Natalie, me, Jeff for this one. Natalie, let's hear your number 5 Eurogame suggestion for people who hate Eurogames.
Okay. My number 5 is Sorcerer's City.
All right, let's
that a
hear.
Eurogame?
Sure. yeah, that's Euro-ish.
The reason
I
that I
suppose.
picked Sorcerer's City was
It's fun.
not
Next.
a typical Euro type game. That has dragons in it. You know.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
good. It has interconnecting money apparently.
Yeah,
I don't know what he's talking about,
that
but
part.
I gotta figure
it
that
has
out.
like a timed element, and you're like drafting tiles with like limited resources. So it's like got like Euro type stuff in it, but it's not like a classic Euro.
Sure.
I don't know.
Okay, that's a good one. Sorcerer's City, number 5. My number 5 rhymes with 5, and it's Scythe. So in Scythe, this is it's full Euro. The game is Euro, but when you look at this game, it's got like mech miniatures, and the artwork is beautiful, and it's kind of like, there's like really amazing components. Not that Euro games can't have amazing components, but typically that's more, attractive feature chrome of an Ameritrash game. And Scythe is kind of dressed up dressed up Euro game in this way. And I thought Scythe would be a good game to show someone who doesn't typically like dry Euro games. I think that'd be a good one to show them. So that's my number 5. Scythe, Jeff, let's hear some preamble from you, and then hear your number 5.
Did we talk about what a Eurogame is?
Yeah, I asked him the
Now-
other day about that, and I was like, "Would this be
There-
considered a Euro
yeah.
game?" And he was just like, "Sure." And I was like, "I don't want to look."
There have been
dumb.
a lot of more recently, like 10, 15 years, a lot of crossover.
Oh,
where
Yeah.
Euro games have a little bit of like the Ameritrash. There's some Ameritrash with some more. But so the way I'm kind of thinking of Euro games, I'm thinking of them as the main mechanism would be like a worker placement. Mm-hmm. You're gathering some resources. You're using those resources to do something.
Sure.
That's always my. Like,
Yeah.
I ask myself, is that a Euro game? Does it have some of those or all of those mechanics? That's
Yeah.
kind of
A
what.
little down and dirty like definition that I've heard over the years, which I enjoy, and it doesn't work for everything, is typically in Euro games, you're working to build something up, and typically in Ameritrash games, you're working to destroy something.
Yeah, that's what
Okay,
I kind of thought.
I like
Like,
that.
And that doesn't obviously encompass everything.
right, like Ameritrash. Like I figured, yeah, you're just like all you're doing is like rolling dice, killing things. It's more like random. You can't really like strategize as much. I googled it and it said some like main component or main mechanisms like worker placement or even like tile laying and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah, like Jeff said, there's a ton of crossover now. But when you think of like a Euro game, a classic Euro game, you're thinking of a game like Caelus, right? Or a game like Agricola, or a game like Terra Mystica. Like these are like kind of like.
But those might not be the
straight-laced
games to get people in.
Sure.
So,
Right.
But those might be the games. Those might be the games where if I hate Euro games, those are the games I'm talking about.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
what Euro games could you show me that might get me in? That's kind of how I
Yeah, they
approached
might
it.
like.
my number 5 is a game I'm halfway through. It's called Charterstone.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I think Charterstone, it plays up to 6,
Stegmeyer for
which
both
is
of us.
good. You're getting maybe people away from like partier type of games, bigger group games, into now Charterstone can play 6. It can play that bigger game group, and it's a worker placement. But I think it could be it's really fun to draw on the board, to name these characters. There's opening cool boxes and unlocking all these kind of cool things, and I think that could get someone into. What other worker placement games are there?
Absolutely.
Or because I'll go back, and if I play a worker placement game with Devin and she's like, what type of game is it? I'll say worker placement, and then she'll go, well, what does that mean? And I'm like, oh, like Charterstone. Charterstone is a worker placement game.
Okay.
So
Through and
that
through.
would be my
Cool.
number 5.
Nice. I like it. Natalie, let's hear your number 4.
My number 4 is Kingsburg.
Yeah.
I picked this because
The Kingsburg's
I mean, I
Dilemma.
guess it depends. Do they not like Euro games because they just hate them, or do they not like Euro games because they've just never played, games like that before? And Kingsburg is one of the first games that I played, and I feel like
You fell in love with that instantly.
Yeah, it's not too hard on the brain. You're like all playing on the same board, so you're not like having your own like player board. I think something that people don't like about Euro games is like you don't, you're just playing your own game like a solitaire type
Sure.
thing, and I feel like this is kind of like that, but not really. And then you also kind of have some like battles at the end of the rounds too, so that throws in some.
Kingsburg is a
like
great
fighting.
pick for a lot of reasons that you talked about. I really think that a big proponent in a lot of Euro games is mitigation of luck. There's like a lot of, non-luck dependent mechanisms in a lot of Euro games, and Kingsburg kind of takes a Euro mechanism worker placement and throws in a dash of randomness with the dice. You know what I mean? You got dice. So typically if you're coming to a Euro game thinking, I don't get to do anything fun, you get to roll dice in this game. And you get to fight monsters at the end of the round.
Right.
And yeah, you're still collecting resources. You're still like garnering the favor of these nobles, but you're building buildings and you're like attacking and fighting things and getting defense. And I think that's a great pick.
That was on my. It was my number 3. I just swapped out.
Yeah,
Not-changing.
you said it, and Jeff goes.
Crosses.
Yeah, my Kingsburg or the Kingsport Festival.
Okay, there you go.
Same
So
games.
my number 4, when I think about, and this is kind of goes into what Natalie just said, when I think about what makes a good game that a non-Euro gamer would look for in a Euro game is, theme. Number 1, right? A lot of these themes in Euro games are just inherently boring to a lot of people. I don't care about trading in the Mediterranean, right? I don't care that I'm getting some sheep on this farm. It doesn't interest me like that. So when you think of a game from Orange Nebula called Vindication, that is basically all Euro mechanisms, but has miniatures.
Yeah.
And you're fighting monsters. You're like using alchemy and magic, and you're like combining things together, and it's like you're like flipping over tiles and having encounters, and you're like using your player powers to like level up and fight other people. It doesn't seem Euro when you're learning it. Even you're like, this sounds like an Ameritrash game. And then as you're playing it, you're kind of like, oh, this feels like I think this is just a straight Euro game, and it is. It's like a Euro game completely dressed up as an Ameritrash game, and it works. And I think that is a good recipe for someone who typically doesn't like Euro games, is going into a game like Vindication. So that's my number 4, Vindication. Jeff, what about you? What's your number 4?
I have I'm along the similar path where theme can get people into a game. This is not that type of theme, but this game is called Viticulture.
Yeah, right.
Third Stonemeyer game.
Yep, right. That's our third one.
And I think the idea of growing wine, what are they called? Vineyards. Like having a vineyard and turning these grapes into wine is just kind of a cool theme. There's some cool components. The iconography is very easy. You're putting workers on the spot to do something.
Yep.
The core mechanics of the game are simple to grasp, and it's fun.
Great choice.
So I just got the Tuscany expansion I need to play with because
Cool.
everyone loves that thing.
Well, you
So I
have the
wanna-
Essential Edition, right?
So,
So
yeah,
that does
so-
have Tuscany stuff. Do you have the Tuscany Essentials?
Now, yes. So now
Okay,
I have
okay.
the Tuscany Essentials, which has the new board. So you're
Right.
playing with, anyway.
Cool.
So, yeah, that's
very
my
cool
number
pick.
4.
That's a good pick. All right, Natalie, what about your number 3?
I'm proud of my number 3.
Why is it number 1?
My number 3 is Yellow and Yangtze.
Okay.
Is that your? Because this is one that has a lot of player interaction because you're kind of like fighting over area control and getting in people's way and battling each other, and I feel like that's what people like when they play non-Euro games, and this is a Euro game that has that. Why? Don't be mad at me.
My number 3.
You have another one?
Yeah, actually, it's different. It's called Tigris and Euphrates. In parentheses, I say, or Yellow and Yangtze. Exactly, now. And I'm proud of you for thinking that because that is a great point. So this game, well, these two games, which are essentially the same game, they're a whole different breed of Euro game. These Euro games have interaction in them in a way that people that talk about not liking Euro games, again, Natalie talked about this earlier, was the multiplayer solitaire. Some people don't like that. We love that. I like doing my own thing and finding out how I did at the end. I think that's amazing. A lot of people don't like that about Euro games. That's one big thing they don't like. So when you think of a game like Tigris and Euphrates, it looks like a dry, boring Euro game. Yellow and Yangtze kind of has a similar feel. But this game, you're conflicting and getting in each other's... The whole game is about getting in each other's faces and battling and securing the, being the king of the hill and getting the most victory points by knocking your opponent out of an establishment that they spent the whole game building up on. And it's just a lot of punching in the face, and it works somehow, and it still feels like a Euro game.
Yeah.
Right?
What was the name of that guy?
Yeah, that Reiner Knizia guy.
No, what's like... I hate your face, or what was the...
Your stupid face.
Okay. Punching in your stupid face.
Yeah, punching you in your stupid face. So that's a fantastic pick for you, number 3, Yellow and Yangtze, and my number 3, Tigris and Euphrates. Jeff, let's hear your number 3.
My number 3 is a game that Ryan doesn't necessarily love. It's not like straight Euro, but there's a lot of Euro mechanics. This game's called Broom Service.
I knew that. I was like, that's going to appear on there
And
somewhere.
Broom Service is just fun.
But I can buy that for
there's a little
this
bit,
list.
Yeah, there's a little bit of card play that's fun, interactive with people. But again, you're moving your little witches and your little whatever things around the board and collecting potions and dropping them off in different places, which is very Euro like.
Yeah, it's Euro. Yeah,
But
pick up and
also
deliver.
with a funny theme of like witches and potions and playing these goofy cards and having to say like, oh, I'll be the little witch instead of like wanting to be the top. I don't remember what the terms are called, but
Game
it's really
of the
funny.
year.
It won Game of the Year.
Great choice.
That's from your boy.
Great choice. Yeah, from your boy, Fister.
Fister.
We just met. Number 2, Natalie, let's hit it.
My number 2 I picked is, I've only played Clank Legacy, but Clank, because
Good choice.
that's another one where it's like a deck builder, but you're
Yep.
also like moving around on a map like
Yep.
you do in like Ameritrash games. And, again, there's a dragon.
There's a dragon again.
That's like
That's what you need. That's all you need to not hate a Euro game.
Play this game.
There's dragons.
Ameritrash has dragons and monsters. But yeah, it's not you're racing against each other, but not in like a point salad type way.
Yeah.
Just in
That's a great choice. That's a great choice. My number 2 is a game that Natalie's Kingsburg really kind of messed a lot of us over here. My number 2 is basically Kingsburg in space, and it's Alien Frontiers, one of my favorite games of all time. And again, for the same reasons that Natalie talked about, Kingsburg being a good game for someone who might not like Euro games. You still have this Euro game feel of worker placement, and there's even area majority in this game, but you're rolling dice, and you're in space, and there's a lot of really cool player powers that you get, and it doesn't feel totally Euro. And I think you could play this and you wouldn't, necessarily feel like you're playing something like Kalis or Palaces of Carrara. So that's my number 2, Alien Frontiers. Jeff, what about you?
My number 2, I don't know how many toes I've...
How many toes? You have 10 toes.
Well, I don't know how many toes I'm stepping on here. With 1 and 2, I'm like, gosh, what are they? I'm like nervous about what do you guys have at 1. My number 2, I'm going to go with a game I just played on Friday, Orleans.
Yeah, I thought about that
And
one.
it's-
I really thought about putting that on here.
It's cool, you're building the bag up. There's only a finite number of actions you can do on your board, and even a smaller number of actions you can physically do with how many pieces that you have. Like, I only have these 4 people to put out on this board. These are the only actions I can do. It's simple, and again, it's a Euro game. The workers are just happen to be discs that you pull out of a bag instead of they're sitting in front of you.
That alone, that mechanism alone feels so cool.
Yeah.
And doesn't feel inherently Euro.
Yeah, and then if you want to ramp it up, there's expansions that ramp the game up to make it harder or more complicated. But
Yeah.
Or you can co-op
I think it's a great, we can play co-op. I just think it's a great intro into like the next level, like Euro games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't feel dry.
Yeah.
Which is one thing I think you want to avoid doing that. All right, Natalie, what is your number
I feel
one?
like I made a bad choice for number
Are you
one.
gonna say Vinos?
No.
Yeah.
Dry heavy wine?
Yeah.
But it's heavy.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so I picked CO2.
That's a great choice.
Really?
I thought about putting that on my
Because-
list.
on
Mostly
my-
because
honorable
it's like
mentions.
it is a hardcore Euro, but it's also cooperative. So you can still, you're not stuck alone, and you have to kind of work together
Yeah.
still. But it's
And the
like
theme is really interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, it was on
No,
my
that's a
honorable
great
mentions.
choice.
Okay.
I wouldn't be
I was like, is
upset
that too
about that.
much for someone who hates Euro games?
I don't think people hate Euro games because of the complexity necessarily. I
Okay.
think a lot of the reason a lot of people don't like Euro games is the theme is
Yeah.
boring. The games are
Right.
boring,
and like
it feels
yeah,
like work.
You're right. This
You
is
know
the
what I mean?
theme, and you're all working towards one common goal. To like beat it.
Yeah, and
Like,
this
save
game
the
is hard,
planet
but it
kinda
never feels like
thing.
work to me in the way that a lot of heavier Euro games, which we love,
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
do. Where
Yeah.
you're like, oh god, like this hurts my brain. It's not fun. I feel like CO2 just has that fun level, so I think
Yeah.
that's a great choice. My number one, and I might. I don't know, Jeff. I'm not sure what your number one is. My number one is a game that we talk about all the time, and there's a lot of components that people like, and it's called Everdell.
Oh yeah.
If you're a person who does not like Euro games, is this your...
No, it's not.
Okay, if you're a person who doesn't like Euro games, I think Everdell is a fantastic game to try because you're going to look at this game and just be captivated. You know what I mean? Again, one of the
Yeah.
things a lot of people don't like about Euro games is they're boring and drab.
Yeah, this is not that.
Donkey Kong talks all the time about his least favorite thing about Euro games is the box cover where there's always an angry looking feller
Boring
on
looking
there.
16th
And I'm with them on
century
that.
man.
That's
Yeah.
like, why do they think someone's going to want
That's
that?
not going to grab somebody.
Right. So that's part of the thing, I think, is like what pulls you in. And I will say this, Donkey Kong Madigan, this was one of his, if not his favorite game of all time. Right?
like-
It's
Yeah, he
one
loves
of his favorite games of all time. And he is someone who typically is not drawn to the Euro style games. Okay. And so he's kind of the poster child for Everdell being a game that if you don't like Euro games, try this game out. Because it is just everything is lush. That's like the one word I would describe this game. So that's my number one, Everdell. Jeff, let's hear it from
That
you.
would have. I was hoping that one of you were going to say that. One of you was going to say that because it's on my list, and I was like, I could have subbed it in.
Yeah,
because
yeah, if you needed
it's-
to. Yeah.
My number one is to go with avoiding a dry theme. I'm thinking of people who hate Euro games, and I'm gonna just generalize people. These people might be like war gamers who are like, I'm not playing this. They might be RPG people who are like, I'm not playing this boring ass game about moving spices around. No, I'm not doing
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
So this game is called Lords of Waterdeep.
Yeah, okay.
Lords of Waterdeep is a D&D themed Euro game.
Entry level,
Worker
too.
placement,
Yep.
entry level, but it could pull people in because it's made by whoever makes D&D.
Yep.
Who is it? Somebody. I don't remember.
It is somebody.
And the art is great. It looks like D&D. You have these, you have these little workers, and the workers you're collecting kind of, you're placing them on the board to collect other people, and those people then go on these missions, and you can read the mission cards, and it's very...
I thought it was Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah, Wizards of the Coast. Okay, and it's very, it's themed very cool, and I think it could draw people in, but it is a straight worker placement Euro game.
Yep.
So that was my number one.
That's a fantastic choice.
Yeah.
I remember when you first got that many, many, many years ago when it came out back in, was it 2012?
Yeah, it's one of my
Wow.
oldest games.
I remember you played it at Nerdfest with Ben. I know, I remember this. And I remember I was like, what'd you think? And he was like, that's one of the best games I've played ever. And Ben is also someone who's not typically a fan of Euro games.
Yeah.
He likes the more thematic Ameritrashy stuff because
Yeah.
it's more fun for him. He was like I thought that was amazing. You know, and I remember thinking like, wow, that's a really big endorsement. So that is our top 5 games for Eurogamers, people who hate Eurogames. Do you guys have any honorable mentions?
I do.
When I wrote it down, I crossed it out
some?
like 2 times. I'm
You're
like,
what is it? Yeah.
What did I say? Top? No. 5 Euro games 5 Euro games for a person who doesn't like.
Yeah.
Yep.
Natalie,
Exactly.
you have any honorable
What are some honorable
Let's
mentions,
see.
Natalie?
Ascension, Quacks, Chaosmos. That's all I really got.
Yeah. Okay. My number 6 was In the Hall of the Mountain King. That was going to be on there.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I had Everdell.
Okay.
I had a game that Joe owns called Spirium. That's an easy.
Oh, that's a cool game.
Yeah, that's a cool game.
That's a cool game. Yeah.
I thought of Castles of Burgundy. I didn't know if you guys thought of that at all, but that might be just dry.
That was kind of
So it
one
might
I
be a
thought.
little
Well, only
dry.
because it's just
To
ugly.
me, that's like classic Euro.
It's just like
game,
ugly.
almost.
I felt like
Yeah.
it's so
It's
good.
amazing.
I feel like that's a game you would look at it hating Euros and you'd be like, no.
Yeah.
But then you'd play it and you'd be like, oh, maybe this is pretty cool.
maybe.
Because it's
Yeah.
got the
Yeah.
dice
It
mechanism.
It didn't draw you in, and that's kind of
Yeah,
why
I feel like it
left
wouldn't draw you
off.
in.
Right, yeah.
I put Istanbul as another one. That's
Yeah.
great.
I thought about that
had
too.
Isle of Skye, which is a great one.
Oh, that's a good choice.
I also thought, and this is why it was left off, is a debate of just 7 Wonders. Like that.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's-
I
yeah.
thought about that.
It's a little
too,
less
actually.
Euro-y than the ones on my list, so I kind of left it.
Oh,
off.
I think that's a good choice. That's definitely a. Yeah,
So that was
Euro.
it. I had 5 tribes too, but I think that might be a little too, maybe slightly too heavy.
Maybe
but,
a little too heavy. Maybe.
Yeah. So those were
Maybe.
honorable
Awesome.
mentions.
Great. So go pick some of those games up if you hate Euro games and you really want to get some Euro games. Maybe you're not liking Euro games and you're kind of like, darn, like I want to.
Right.
But
For all my
they
friends like
haven't
Euro
been
games,
good
maybe if
for
they
you.
play one of
Yeah,
these,
pick up
they'll
one of
like
these.
it.
Pick up a Vindication or a Scythe or a Kingsburg or one of the ones that Jeff said that I can't remember right now. So that's going to do it for us tonight, everybody. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you can find us on Instagram at Gamecasters or at Mad Board Gamer. Both of those accounts service the podcast. We also have a Facebook group. Just search Gamecasters. You'll find us there. You can also email us at thegamecasterspodcast@gmail.com. We have that incredibly barren Board Game Geek guild that Natalie still hasn't joined, 3678. If you'd like the show, we'd love it if you consider giving us a rating on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else you listen that allows you to rate us no less than 5, please. All music for this and every episode was produced by Jeremy Pete. If you enjoyed it and want some of your own for your next project, please email us to discuss. So, for Natalie, Jeff, the Mad Board Gamer, I'm Ryan, and you have been listening to The Gamecasters. Good night, everybody.